Joe will be here in a few minutes, but right now you have
No, I'm
me.
actually sitting right here. I'm looking at the second screen here.
See, I had this whole thing all ready, and then I feel so shot down. Anyway, happy birthday to me. Just turned
Happy
60.
birthday.
Thank you. Turned 65. And my sister Lisa, who is forever giving me the most interesting birthday cards. It says, how about some redneck fireworks for your birthday?
Uh-oh. She gave you a boomstick.
It was the was that the William Tell with farts.
Mm.
I thought it was funny. And thanks to her, I blacked out there for a second.
No. You didn't black out. That was just me getting everything in order because every time I share a screen, it brings it up immediately instead of keeping it in the background.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
so
don't want us to know what he's looking at right now.
I actually got it prepared and ready to go after you guys do your thing here because this one is about 20 something minutes.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Also, for those not aware, it's that time of year when Girl Scouts are outside of grocery stores and in shopping malls flogging their wares. When I was a Girl Scout, you couldn't do that. They wouldn't let us do that. So what we had to do was we had to go door to door knocking on people's doors and go, "Hi, I'm a Girl Scout, and I got Girl Scout cookies. Do you like to order some Girl Scout cookies? I have many different flavors. Please tell me which flavor you would like and how many boxes." You want to hear the William Tell overture with the farts? Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it. I can't believe I'm doing this. Actually, I think it's the 1812 overture. I could be wrong. It's been my brain's not functioning today. I ate almost an entire pint of Haagen-Dazs rum raisin ice cream today.
We got new features too.
I was seeing
Really?
that.
What?
Well, it's funny you mentioned Girl Scouts, Missy Lane,
Uh-huh.
because right before I came on here. The missus, who's back from Germany, more about that later, um, was sharing with me some local events around town for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And because we live in the South, the local the local pub is having a Girl Scouts and beer night.
Oh my
Where,
goodness. That could be
where
a
you
dangerous
Now,
combination.
practically Girl Scouts and beer. Are they at least cooking the Girl Scouts before you start to eat them, or will they be alive and screaming?
well, you see, what's happening is you can go to the local pub and get a beer flight of each different type of beer that is best to be paired with the Girl Scout cookie of your choice.
I'm sorry, that was disrespectful. I apologize.
So yeah,
But
Girl
all
Scouts and
beer
beer.
goes with the what you call it, the shortbread Girl Scout cookie.
I've got they actually have a couple of new flavors that I hadn't seen before.
Well,
That my sister, because she and I had both been Girl Scouts, and she joined Girl Scouts because I was in Girl Scouts, and it's like, well, you didn't get to be in Girl Scouts, I'm gonna be a Girl Scout too. Um, but what she does do is now every year when it's cookie time, she will hit a spot and she specifically looks for a black troop if she can find one, and she buys cookies from them.
mm,
And then if we're lucky, she dumps some of those cookies on us.
well, if you want to know what beer goes best with your Thin Mints, come to the Ale House in Olive Branch, Mississippi this weekend.
Oh no, 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 baby! I don't go to Mississippi. My Miss Annie Haygood, my paternal grandma was from Mississippi. She picked cotton on a plantation. Mm-mm, ain't going to Mississippi.
You'll never know now.
Well, maybe I'll sneak in and come visit you so I can flip it
Okay.
and
She
make you
does. She don't
crazy.
want to know about good old Tupelo. I spent what 2 years in Jackson.
Oh, okay.
That's when my mother's job transferred her to the south.
Ah, my boot camp was at Paris Island, which sits across it's a little island that the only way to get on and off of it legally is via this bridge that connects to Charleston's, South Carolina. And then my first duty station was over at Camp Lejeune, which is outside of Jackson, North Carolina. And then, my last duty station was Okinawa, Japan. Japan was fun, except them weird spiders will just make you crazy. Okay, so I have a review of Predator Badlands. You want to do your cartoon before I do the
No,
review?
no, no, no. You go ahead. Like I said, this one is about 26 minutes long, and there's a
Okay.
lot for me to kind of discuss about it because after seeing the contents again, I just got a lot to say about it. To be quite honest.
Oh, and before I forget, good evening, Brad. We saw you, sweetie. I didn't want you to think we were ignoring you. I see you.
No, that's the reason why I say I brought up the new feature because now they get to see what we get to see. That way, I don't have to be like, oh, we acknowledge them this way. It's like, no, we get to see it live as you type it in.
Oh, yay. Well, I watched Predator Badlands earlier today because it goes really well with rum raisin ice cream, surprisingly, as does my peach cobbler, it seems. Anyway, this this was a very different Predator movie. Usually, the Predator and Alien franchises are told through the eyes of humans, not necessarily the creatures themselves. The people experience you are told the story through the eyes of the humans involved in that story. So people go on a they end up having to get waylaid over to a little space station. Things happen. You see it from their point of view. Predator Badlands is and I keep forgetting the name for the predators are Yacha or Yacha. That's it, Yacha. Um, and this movie opens in their language. The characters, because it opens on the predator home on the predator home world. So they do it in their language. There's subtitles, so it's not like a Bad Bunny concert. You actually get to see what they're saying. Um, but it was very different, and I liked what they did. This movie, it was directed by Dan Trachtenberg, and the screenplay was by Patrick. Was it Ace? Yeah, Asa, Oisa, and yeah, who directed this again? The director of this was oh goodness, I forgot his name. Oh, okay. But one of the things that opens with in English, they type it up on the screen, is the codex of the Yatra, the Yuatra. Oh, goodness, I'm never going to pronounce that name right. Kudos to Elle Fanning. Girl had it down. Pray to none, friend to none, predators to all. That is their codex. Can you hear me, Cliff? You were looking. Okay. That's the codex of this group. They do not make friends, they don't make allies, and they hunt anything, and they themselves are not supposed to be hunted. In other words, they believe that there's nothing out there that can out hunt them. And therefore, if you can't out hunt them, they don't need to think of you as an ally or a friend. And in fact, learning about the Yacha, they don't really have friendships. How these guys actually end up mating, they haven't shown, but I think it's probably going to be something really scary. Um, but we start with two brothers, Quay and his younger brother, Deck. Deck is considered by his clan to be the runt of the litter, and their fathers lead their clan. And we come in on, um, and we come in through Deck's POV. So we see Deck coming into his brother's ship. They do a little fighting. The brother is trying. You realize pretty quickly the brother is. It looks very dangerous. It is dangerous, but the brother is teaching him. The brother is giving him instruction on how to be a better fighter. Because he has not brought in his first kill, and therefore he is not officially in the clan. And age wise, I think this character is supposed to be somewhere between mid teens and very early 80s, as far as I can figure it out. Um, and these brothers, because this is the first time you've seen anything close to what their lives are like. And these brothers are close. The the younger brother actually saved the older brother from something that they don't quite explain. And as a result, the older brother, because it is what he considers his honor, he protects his younger brother. He loves his younger brother. He loves him as much as these creatures are capable of loving, and he protects him. Even as they're taking a little time to themselves, and the father shows up, and he's talking to the older brother Quay, and it turns out he had sent the older brother to kill his younger brother because he was the runt. And the father just decided that because he was short for a predator or a yacha, um, that he therefore was not, it was an embarrassment. In fact, they consider weakness to be, any sign of weakness is considered um, unfavorable to total shame of the clan. And the father had wanted the elder brother to slay his younger brother, and the elder brother couldn't do it. The younger brother had already told him that his plan was to go to this planet called Genna and hunt down the Kalisk. And this thing that he's supposed to hunt, no one has managed to hunt or catch, let alone kill. And the elder brother decides that, for the sake of his younger brother, attacks the dad, ends up getting killed. But the elder brother, before he is slaughtered, he manages to get the younger brother into his ship and by remote send the ship on its way to this place that this kid wants to go. He gets there, and Genna is one of those planets. There's very little stuff on this planet that doesn't want to kill you. The grass, there are patches of grass that you've heard this saying, blades of grass. On this planet, it's literal. And you walk through this grass and it will slice you to ribbons. The trees will eat you. Okay? Trees will eat you. Little bugs there will eat. There's very little on this planet that isn't designed to eat and kill something else in very spectacularly violent fashion. It will either kill you or just seriously injure and maim you. But on this planet, after this poor Deck, he gets knocked out, he wakes up and he crash lands on the planet. He doesn't quite know where he is. He kind of stumbles out, starts finding that everything wants to eat him, and he comes upon an android that has been torn in half. The android is played by Elle Fanning. who I loved. She and Dakota Fanning are sisters, and this was a much more adult role for her because for the longest time, anybody who knows the early 2000s, she and her sister played these sort of crazy little girl roles. And this is a more adult. She plays two androids that are sisters, Thea and Tessa. Thea is the android that's damaged that befriends Deck. Tessa is an android with her own issues, shall we say. And I won't go into it more than that, but it's very interesting because yeah, there are things they have in there that are kind of your typical sort of predator stuff, the attitudes and stuff, but this was very different. If you were going in expecting something like the Schwarzenegger Predator or even Predator 2 or Aliens versus Predator, you're going to be disappointed. Don't do that. This this says so much of it, it gives you more of a view into the predator psychology and the predator psyche, and it talks about it discusses things like found family as opposed to, you know, the family that you come from, and learning to adapt. And it's a very different take from your usual predator film. Like I said, this is done from the POV of this guy, this young guy, Deck, and how everything that happens to him on this planet affects who he becomes at the end and the actions that he chooses to take and the things he chooses to do. And I love the ending, and I won't give it away because the ending just had me hooting. I when they showed the ending, I just lost it. I just laughed myself to death because I thought it was really interesting. Um, so yeah, this is if you like alien worlds, if you love and yes, there's a huge nod to the Alien franchise because I forgot to mention this L's character is a Weyland Yutani synth. She and a whole bunch of other Weyland Yutani synths have been sent to this planet to find the same callous creature that this guy wants to haunt. And it's it's interesting because you have it's an interesting thing. It says a lot about clashing cultures, um, about how the choices we make in the situations that we find ourselves in can change us, and yet how we can change in many ways, and yet still at the core remain who we are, but perhaps more honorable in that regard to than where we started. Um, I would say I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. And only because, and I cut it down 1.5 because, you know, there's a lot of the normal alien, you don't get a lot of the normal predator kills and stuff that you would if it was humans and they were ripping the spines and the skulls out and stuff. You're not going to get that. This is more of a character study, and I really, really enjoyed that. And it's an interesting mix between and the how the planets that they're on affect you. These are characters who go in here with a specific belief in themselves, what they're supposed to be doing, who they are, and this planet that they're on, Genna. It's interesting to see how it affects them both and the choices that they end up making. Um, it's on Disney Plus Hulu. You can watch it either on Hulu or Disney Plus. It just dropped today, and which I thought it was a bit of a birthday present, but you know, I'm weird that way. I would say, you know, pop yourself some popcorn, grab a soda, kick out anybody who is too easily grossed out or doesn't like having to look at subtitles, because what I really love, just like with the original version of prey, which was done in the indigenous language of the tribe that they happen upon, there is a lot of the predator's language. Elle speaks, and when she's on camera speaking, she's speaking English, but he hears her in Yachwa. So they explain it really quickly that while we as the audience hear her speaking, he is hearing her speak in his tongue. And when he speaks to her, because she can understand him, he is speaking to her in his language. So there's going to be subtitles. And if you can't deal with subtitles, this is not your movie, but there we go.
All right.
I don't know how the girls will take it. They might find it too bloody, but then again, they may find it not from what happened the last time you were on. You're telling us about the girls staying over. They may not find it bloody enough.
They'll be bored. Like, there's not enough death in this. I'm out. That's interesting. You never really. I'm not that versed in the new lore of Alien and Predator since Marvel took over a lot of it in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But if Wayland Yutani is versed enough in what's in their universe that their synthetics can speak Predator, why don't they try and hunt down one of those for their weapons division? It'd be a lot better than the little angry acid spitters.
The creatures the creature that Deck and Wayland Yutani both want. Woo! Woo! Okay, spoiler. Close your eyes, plug up your ears if you don't want to hear this. He's fighting this thing. He cuts its head off. It regrows its head. And
it's related to my wife.
And it comes to him like, what you got? Okay. And which is why Wayland Yutani wants this thing.
Or, they would at the very least outsource capturing one of the aliens to the Predators instead of just failing at it all the time because they send dumb humans to do it.
Well, that's just it. This expedition that has gone to catch this thing from Wayland Yutani, there are no humans. There are no humans. The synths look like humans. Elle Fanning's character Thea is the closest thing you get to human, and she's a synth. In fact, most of the movie, she's only got her top half because she was with the crew that went to hunt this thing, and she's explaining it to Duck, and she's like, "Yeah, I faced it." He's like, "Yeah, you did." It's like, "Nope, yep." See my legs gone? That's because I faced this thing. And this is what it did to me. And then something else put her in a nest that it was going to try to eat her, but she's a simp, and so she's not tasty. But Wayland Yutani wants this thing with a real intense hard-on. They want this, and because of the way in which this creature can regenerate, they want this puppy. This puppy is, and from what I can tell, since she can speak Yacha so well, is that this has to be at least a good 50 years or so after the whole alien and predator stuff that we've seen that are more earthbound, and LV-46 and all of that. This is well after all of that. And that I liked. It was, we didn't go somewhere where there were humans and stuff like that. This was a synth operation, and I don't want to give too much away, but it was interesting. Let's just put it that way. The way the synths communicate with each other. They are very different from the kids they used in Alien Earth. This is not the Alien Earth series. These are not children and adults in synthetic adult bodies. These, even though to some degree, um, there is something a little childlike about these synths, and the fact that they really don't have much going on in regards to their regards for each other is very cold and clinical. So these are not the kids from Alien Earth. And so if you're thinking Alien Earth, no, this is not going to be your show, because these guys aren't singing. They're not kumbaya. They're just, Elle has her issues. Her sister has her issues. But beyond that, everybody else is just following them orders from mother.
But would you need to watch what was the other Predator, Killer of Killers before you see Badlands, or could you just
No,
jump?
no.
Okay.
The Predator Badlands, I liked it because it was, like I said, unlike the rest of these shows, it's told from the Predator's point of view, which is something that the rest of the movies in these series are not. They're there, but they're kind of an external. It's a human dealing with the predators or the aliens or whatnot and responding to what they're doing. This is who we are. This is what we do. And this is what happens when one of us is an outlier, per se. And what happens to him, though it's, like I said, it's definitely a character. It's more of a character study. It is not a horror film. There are some great creepy alien plant and monster stuff, fun things in there, but this is more of a character study. It's not like a 5-minute fun thing. This is what's that movie with Tom Hanks and the soccer ball? Castaway?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Castaway.
This is more of a this is more of a character study along Castaway. It just happens to have a predator as its main character. And this little synth that he ends up picking up. And he, when at one point they have an argument and he keeps calling her tool. Because when we start, that's how he views her. He views her as a tool. And he views this creature as just something for him to catch and kill. Because if he can catch and kill this creature that they know exists, but no one has ever managed to kill, then he'll prove, like, I'm not the runt of the litter. I'm big bad ass man. Because it's that type of culture. So like I said, I enjoyed it, but then I like the idea of something that's a character study and how cultures clash and how they also, characters that should clash can also end up blending, and how you retain who you are while still being able to change, So, and like I said, the end of it, I just love the end of it. The end of it just had me, the end of it had me hooting, because it was like, I have never seen the line, "That's my mother," used to that degree before. It's just like, oh shoot, it's gonna get real. I keep hoping there's gonna be, the way they ended it makes me hope that there's a sequel coming, because it's like, oh, it's gonna get real.
Well, I don't think I'm ever going to get the sequel to to the movie that I always wanted a sequel to, which was Predator 2.
The one with Danny Glover.
Because of what happened at the very end. You have to be mindful that Predator 2 was set in the 1980s, and then every last Predator movie that came after was in so far distant future that it doesn't make any sense anymore to me.
Prey. Prey, though, does tie into the 1980s film. It ties in directly, along with Killer of Killers ties those things together. But
it's
Prey,
still too far out in the future, because
Prey is set in America's past. Prey is set in like the 1700s in Canada.
That so it would have been a prequel. That in a
It
way it would
is
have been
a
a prequel
prequel.
to the first two movies.
Yes,
Right.
this is it. And in fact, that gun he tosses Danny Glover when he says here, and he tosses him that flintlock, you get to see where it comes from in Prey. And then you get to see it again in Killer of Killers.
Mm.
So they are connecting those films.
They're
Are
trying to
putting,
connect it, but it's still Predator 1, they sent the scout.
yes.
The
Well,
scout
no,
never the scout never came back. They came in 2 to actually hunt.
well, no, he was
And
hunting in one. He was hunting because even the girl says that for years, when it gets really hot, they find men hanging from trees with their skins gone. So they have been hunting there. She
Mhm.
had talked about that. She has a dialogue, a monologue where she's explaining to Schwarzenegger and a few guys left exactly what's going on. And I forget the exact wording, but it becomes the demon that hunts men,
Mhm.
is what her people call it. And
Yeah.
she said, because she says it always comes when it's hot, and this year it is very hot.
Mhm.
So, and
Mhm.
even when the Danny Glover film,
Mhm.
what's his name is explaining, this thing has been hunting on this planet for millennia. It's been where there are battles and stuff is what it's drawn to. So they've been hunting here. Predator, Killer of Killers, the first of the three characters that you see, whose stories you see, is a Viking woman. And
See, that's why I don't like
story.
this lore
And
too much.
then you
I
and then
hate this
the
lore.
next story is a
Mm.
samurai. And the third story is a young man in World War II who wants to be a pilot. So it hops. So it establishes the fact, and Prey, like I said, happens in like the late 16, early 1700s. So it they've been showing how these things have been around.
Right.
And they have
Overriding the first two movies.
an
They
Alien
literally
versus
override the first two
Predator.
movies.
They have, the thing they find, the pyramid, and he's reading the thing on there, and he's saying they were worshipped as gods, and they would come down and hunt, and if things got out of hand, they blow things the hell up.
Mhm.
So they have been establishing that this has been happening on Earth and other places. These are not, the predators are not the hi, we're explorers and we come to make, we
No,
come to be friends.
they were warriors. They were warriors and everything, and that was the whole thing about the first two Predator movies, because of the simple fact that it was never the same Predator. In Predator 1, they killed one.
Yes, they killed one.
Predator 2 is
He
was the
killed
first
one, but
time that any human got that close, and actually they realized that we can hunt them.
they killed him, and then they tossed him the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, take this. That gun appears in Prey. It then
Yeah,
appears.
But that handing of the gun was that tribe's acknowledgement
Of
that was his trophy for killing it.
yeah,
It's
that
like,
was your trophy. You killed one
right.
of
That
us.
was his tribe's acknowledgement that you killed one of us. Here's your trophy.
Yes.
mhm.
So, and like I said, and it comes again in it comes again in Prey, because we see where they get that gun.
Mhm.
But in doing Prey, it still sounds like they overrode a lot of the stuff that they
No,
were
because
doing.
we know the age of the gun is around the time that Prey happens. That's the age of the gun. So it's like, oh, well, y'all were back here as far back as then. When you see the gun, it's a flintlock.
Mhm.
So it's not a modern pistol. It's an old flintlock from the 1700s. So we know if they had one of these, they've been going back that far, if not farther. All Prey did was say, "Oh, and this is where they got that gun."
But
That's
it still
all
didn't
they
move the
did.
story forward from the 1980
I am
standpoint.
sorry you didn't get to have a Danny Glover sequel.
No, I didn't want a Danny Glover sequel. I just want something to kind of bridge the gap between that to Alien versus Predator, because you went too far out. You really literally went too far out. It's like they've
Well,
been
you
visiting
know
for
what?
all this time, and now all of a sudden they just pop up again.
Well, actually, because Alien versus Predator is what, 1990 something, early 2000s?
No, but the time frame in the story was future. It was not
No,
set
it
in.
was modern. It was modern day. It's yes. It's like
Mhm.
it, because it's prior to. This is like the original Wayland. This is before you get
Mhm.
Wayland Yutani. This is just it's the Wayland Corp. She's dealing with the Mr.
Wayland,
Wayland.
the early Wayland. Well,
Yes,
maybe I got my time frame wrong, but I could
you
have
got
sworn
your
early
time frame.
Wayland was in the 2000s.
No, Wayland
What
is in the late 90s, early 2000s.
and
They
then
And
don't become Wayland Yutani until the 21st century.
right,
the
And the
sequel
20
was it
no 22nd. That's when they joined with the Wayland Utah. That's when they joined with the Utani Corp because the Waylands have died out. Utani has taken the Utani Corp has taken them over and kept it as Wayland Utani. There are no more Waylands running Wayland Utani. It's all the Utani family running it because we see that in Alien Earth. The Utanis are running the show, and that's
Mhm.
before because wait, Alien Earth happens before we see what happens above on the Nostromo.
Mhm. And Alien, what is it? Alien, was it Requiem, the second one?
Requiem is the one that happens after Alien versus Predator, and
Yeah,
that's a
and
crap
that was
one. And
definitely current time.
that was current time.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years after what happened
Mhm.
with Alien versus Predator.
Mhm.
So they're in the timeline. You may
it's
not have
still
been.
it's still fit what 15 years, 15 to
It's about
20 years.
yes, because this was in the 80s and then the 90s and then the 2000s. So it was like they were skipping decades because that's how long it took to get those first three movies made.
Well,
If you want to look
it
at it,
still
if
doesn't
you
prove. It's still the problem that I still have is that if they've been visiting Earth this many times, why wasn't there a visit in the 90s? We did not get a second another visitation from the Predators until around 2000 or late
They
1990s.
may have all and understand anytime one of theirs gets killed, they have to go report to all the other predators. This member of our clan got wiped out on this planet.
Mhm.
So they may say, oh, well, we're going to wait until they forget about us. A smart predator doesn't then, the minute you know there's a predator coming to hit the chickens in your hen house, isn't going to hit and you fight it. Another of that predator is going to wait. Well, maybe we're going to chill out before we go hit the hen house again.
Because
And we don't know where else. Earth is a big planet. We're just
see, that
seeing
doesn't make see
no.
one
The
and one
first
and two
one
doesn't
takes
make
place
that
in
would make
South
one and two make
America.
no sense then.
The first one
well,
takes
think of it
place in
like
South America. The second one takes place in North America. The third one takes place in Antarctica. Then we
Right.
come to that little podunk town where this stupid
Mhm.
movie happened. And then we're going to Alien Earth and Alien,
Mhm.
which happens out in space. The first of these movies in the timeline don't even leave the planet for the most part. And they were doing, remember, the
Well,
comics were blending aliens and predators before it came. In fact, that's how they got the idea from the stuff that Dark Horse were
mhm.
doing to do the first Alien versus Predator. They took some stuff from the first Dark Horse series of that. So we had already seen in Dark Horse's Alien versus Predator universe and Aliens Colonial Marines, we had seen these things happen along the timeline. the comic books were moving faster than the movies were.
Okay,
That's
so that is to be expected here, but I just look
Well,
at the timeline, as we got the movies here.
well, look at it more as, if you want to look at it from a standpoint of the time, think of it like, well, maybe hunting season on Earth hasn't opened back up yet.
true. It's maybe
Because
it's like
it's
duck
big,
season, rabbit season.
it's
Well,
a big
I can
universe.
look at it that way, but I also look at it from the standpoint, it's like the first one in Predator 1 he did the self-destruct mechanism,
He did
which sent out a signal, that said that he was bested.
which may explain and understand
So
they
I
don't
mean,
take
not even a
place
decade
in this,
later.
but they don't take place in the same place geographically.
Right.
Hunting in New York, but the way they may have gone about doing it in
I
New
thought it
York,
was Los Angeles.
it's let me say again, the first movie we see happens in South America.
Exactly.
The second movie we see happens in Los Angeles, but there's nothing to suggest that they couldn't have been hunting elsewhere. And yet people would have thought it was something else, or they may have been hunting. They may have been out in a wooded area, some far, some little town or something where there's not a huge population, and nobody would believe that some big old outer space predator came and took out the local clan. Okay. There's nothing to suggest that they wouldn't have been hunting elsewhere. They could have been hunting in Siberia. We don't know. It suggests
All
that these things have gone. Like I said, Killer of Killers takes place in the ancient Viking time. So it's and the second time in that movie we see them, it's in Japan. And then we see them in World War II. So they've been around with
That's not the argument that I have. What I was getting at is end of one, self-destruct signal. They know that one of theirs died.
yes.
The second movie, that one died, but it was witnessed by other members of that clan. And
yes.
that to me indicates that there was more than one across the earth and everything. That's not the part that I was arguing about.
Then what's
For
the
the simple fact that it was witnessed, they gave him a trophy and they left.
Yes, and probably went and told all the other predators, we need to lay low for a bit.
Or
And then
or we got brand new intel. Let's figure out what we need to do.
and
Not
then
not necessarily like they died and this, that, and the other, and we need to lay low. It's like, oh, we have to come up with a better plan because
and what did they do? They drilled into the ice to hit an ancient temple to restart their hunt there. That whole temple was built for them by the indigenous people for that area before it became iced over in Antarctica. So it was before the Ice Age that temple had been built. They're the ones who drilled into it to start it back up. It got human attention and people went to check it out. So they drew people in, people who were not going to talk about it because they didn't want this information getting out until they knew what it was, and Wayland could actually put his stamp on it. So this was all hush, hush, hush. Okay? But we know the predators drilled down because Wayland didn't do it. They got there and found that tunnel drilled down, and they just went down there to see and then found all that stuff and things got set up. And during the movie, they actually show you how the other predators are looking at it from above, how they're looking at the computer renderings. So we know they're being watched. We know this is being viewed and watched. So it's like, okay, doing the cities is, hunting in the jungles ain't working. Hunting in the cities ain't good. Wait a minute. We got that ancient temple site, right? We'll go there. We'll only draw the people who really want to come and check it out. they don't come back. Who knows other than a handful of people? And by that time, they figured they will have done their hunting, closed it back up, and disappeared.
Baby.
I think you're also looking at too much of the standpoint of their, okay, this happened and this happened. We have this new intel about these Earthlings we need. This isn't about gathering information about Earthlings. This is their hunt, their rite of passage. So if Bob the Predator died fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger, it wasn't that this human did something. It was he failed his rite of passage. He wasn't Predator enough. And then Steve went to LA and died fighting Danny Glover. It was, and we witnessed it. It wasn't these humans did something extraordinary. It was he sucked at his job.
Yep.
So they're not looking at it from it's not about what the other people, the other prey are doing. It's about this predator is not worthy to be one of us.
And their
even
technology,
with rites of passage, you have to look at what was being hunted, and that's the standpoint that I'm looking at. If you've been here for decades hunting, and you got a species worshiping you almost like a god, and then all of a sudden, boom, one of you taken out. Boom, now a second one is taking you out. Sometimes you have to take that second to kind of like, oh, maybe there's something more to this species than we realize. I mean, we're not going to stop our rite of passage, but a person who would really want to be that ultimate predator would take that moment to take that step back and be like,
Well, it's like,
well, I mean, if you look at all the Alien versus Predator comics, every time one of the predators fail hunting the aliens, they don't change the way they hunt the alien.
They might change where they hunt them.
Yeah, he wasn't worthy,
and
that was it. It's, to me, it's, and this is a bad example because I'm not calling the predators this, but it's dude bro mentality.
Right.
I've been in the gym and I've been around these dude bros, and they decide they want to fight UFC bro, and they get taken down and choked out. If you're going by your theory of they need to change what they're doing, they would continue to work on their jujitsu. Dude bro mentality says, I need to hit the weights more, bro, and punch harder.
Take more time to get yourself back up.
It doesn't change what they're doing. So that's the predator mentality. Like, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. It was what he did.
He failed.
Yeah.
And this is
Bob failed fighting Arnold. That's not our fault. That's his fault.
And this is, if you look at it in regards to episodic storytelling. So it's a timeline, but it jumps geographically. This is what they did here that we know about. This is what they did here that we know about. This is what they did here that we know about. Doesn't mean they're just because vampires show up in LA don't mean they're not hanging out in Transylvania or running around in the UK.
And that's not the point that I'm arguing. It's like, then what's the whole purpose of giving Danny Glover the trophy?
Because he defeated him. The first one blew himself up. So it was like there was like, okay, he blew himself up. It wasn't like this guy defeated him. He decided rather than face defeat, he would just self-destruct himself and all his stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I'm going based upon dude bro mentality and the fact that it's the hunt.
But you're looking at it from the standpoint of they think that Danny Glover did something special. They don't. They think
the nature of the hunt. The nature of the hunt is that you get whoever's head or whatever trophy that you get from the kill.
And the trophy was given to Danny Glover. It wasn't given to Danny Glover as like, oh, hey, you were worthy. It was like the pistol was a good job, Jimmy trophy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a you were worthy trophy. It's like, good job, Jimmy. You beat Bob because he sucks at being a predator.
They don't have a conversation. He just tosses the pistol at him and says, take it. And then they turn around.
Remember, he saw all the different heads of all the different species before they tossed him the gun.
But I'm saying is they don't have a conversation. It's not like,
Right.
hey, we're the Yacha, blah, blah, blah. No, he just says, take it. And it's clear to Glover because he thinks he's alone with this thing in this subterranean tunnel. And then boom, all these guys pop up around him. And it's like, okay, you can have this. Get your ass out the door.
It wasn't a acknowledgement of you were a great hunter or acknowledgement of you passed the rite of passage. It was good job, Jimmy. Bob sucks. Now you can leave our spaceship now.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I took it as more like you won. Here's this. Bye. That's the way I look at it.
Well, either way, it's not like they didn't offer to sit down, have a coffee, and explain the universe. That's not
Danny Glover was still seen as beneath them.
Yes.
All of those other predators were like, if it was us, you'd be dead. That's what they're thinking. That was their mentality. And it's like, good job, Jimmy. Here.
It's like Alien versus Predator. It's only they didn't kill her because he marked her with the clan symbol.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And they gave her the thing. They didn't just toss it to her. They gave it to her because he marked her with the clan symbol, which is a rare thing to do for anything outside the Yacha because it suggests she's an ally. But they didn't offer, hey, come see the universe, girlie. No, they gave it to her and then left her there. Didn't even like, hey, we'll drop you off at your ship. No, they got up, took his body, and got the hell out. They got out of Dodge.
Which explained with your movie the whole thing about Tool and why he called her Tool.
Because she's an android. She's not human. And she's there to give him, when they first meet up, she's giving him data about this planet because he doesn't know anything other than there's this creature on this planet that he thinks if he can kill it, he can go back to his clan and then get a cloaking because he does not have the cloak. You do not get that cloaking device until you've made your first successful kill. So he doesn't even have the cloaking
But
device.
He was ousted before that, though.
His brother Otto sent the ship to this planet to give him the opportunity to at least see if he could make a kill. Okay.
Now,
so he does not have it. He does not have the cloak because he didn't get his brother's cloak. The father cut the brother's arm off. The brother picked his arm up before he got beheaded and hit the thingy for the ship, which is he had already auto set because I think the big brother was going to take him to this planet to let him hunt there. He wanted to save his baby brother. You get to see family dynamics and the attitudes, and you realize that these two brothers are kind of outliers because the older one cares for the younger one and protects him. When the father goes, you should have did it in his sleep. The older brother, and he tells him, kill him now. He even traps him in this thing, and the older brother's like, and you think the older brother's going to kill him, and he's like, he tells him, he turns to him and he says, don't be afraid. And he has to breathe and get himself centered. And when he gets centered, he cuts that trap and lets him out of there. And he knows when he does that, he's got to then face their father in combat. And one of them has to die. So to be killed by something you think of as prey, for them, is pretty, it's a humiliation. It's a humiliation. You know.
And in the comics, because the Alien versus Predator comic is completely different than the movie.
It's very different.
But at the ending, the Predator War Chief does mark the human with his clan symbol. And they take her in as like an honor
in
thing.
The comic book, they take her with them.
But they treat her like garbage.
Oh yeah. She's a
not
female. She's not there. She's not Yacha, and she is a female. She is the lowest of the low.
Yeah, so it's a she get it's different if they mark you, but if they take you with you, you're still not considered one of them. You're best at best a third class citizen.
Yeah,
So, but yeah,
but which, like I said, this movie, and he starts out. They, like I said, there comes a point where he and Elle Fanning are having an argument, and he calls her tool. It takes to the end before he acknowledges acknowledges her as something other than a tool. So it's interesting because, like I said, it's less of the original Predator series because you're looking at it from their point of view as opposed to
It's you got the hero's journey. Pretty much, this movie is a hero's journey type deal.
it's very much it combines the hero journey, the trope of the found family, the trope of the outcast. It brings a lot of those things together, and I think it does it very well. I think it does it very well. But if you're going for the usual Predator film, this film will disappoint you. It will disappoint you because while there is some action and there's fun and stuff like that, and there are some funny bits, there are some great funny bits. Um, Elle Fanning, I adore Elle Fanning. It was great to see her in this. But like I said, if you're looking for the type of Predator film you're looking for, this is not your Predator. This is definitely not your Predator film, especially since when you see Deck as opposed to the other Predators we've seen, you can tell he's much younger. He's like an angry teenager.
Okay, because I want to say this, and it ties everything together. I say this a lot on my Saturday show, and I say it with all love here. This is one of the main reasons why movies are written the way that they are, because of the simple fact that not all moviegoers are comic book readers. I don't read a lot of the Aliens and Predators comic series. I haven't been exposed to a lot of the Dark Horse stuff, so I don't know every last bit of history. But at the same time, looking at the Predator movies, it kind of puts me in that mind frame of thinking about why the tribe is. Now, the way that you describe this movie, this would be something that would probably be right up my alley if I knew a lot more about the overall history, which would have been from the comic books. And it would have it would throw up somebody like me completely off. And I watch this and be like, oh, I like the hero's journey. I like this, that, and the other. And I would come right back to say, how come this wasn't done at, now into, after seeing all these other movies? Because now that would have kind of helped me explain why the end of two, why, Prey was doing the way things were doing. And it just,
Well, also understand there is no way they could have gotten this movie made and out into the theaters.
mhm.
This was released on Disney Hulu Plus. This was not something that had this huge theatrical release. You know, um, like Prey, these are quieter stories. They're more character development. The characters are less tropey. While there are some tropes in there, there is the main characters, the girl in Prey. She's um she's like a classic Heyoka in the fact that she understands herbs and medicine and stuff like that. But she also thinks, she's calculating, she's incredibly intelligent. She, in many ways, if her tribe was different, would have been a chief. Okay. But because of the way that women in her tribe are treated, she would have been a warrior in a different tribe in a different place.
Mhm.
But instead, it's like stick to your herbs and medicine. Um, and it's luck, and she's lucky that her family is a little more they're not as strict about things. They give her a little more leeway when she's thinking things out. Some of the other warriors are going, no, 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 no. But her brother is paying attention. There are those that are like not wanting to listen to her, there are those couple of people who are paying attention because it's like, wait a minute, she knows what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her do this, this, this. She knows what she's talking about, and she proves herself because she's got at the end, she's the one facing off on this thing. Hunters, her brother, and them, they've all faced this thing and died. She outthinks it. She is more of a predator than it is because she outthinks it. She outsmarts it. She realizes brute force is not going to save her. She's got to be smart. She's got to be calculated. And that's one of the things I love it because, there's a point where you get tired of I blew it out the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
You get
I
really
mean,
exhausted.
going back, that's what I say, going back to like the 80s trope. And
Yeah,
it's the reason why I had to watch the updated version of Running Man, because I was like, I've read the novel. I was like, I know what Running Man is supposed to be. What we got with the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is cool, fine, and dandy. It did what it needed to do,
especially for the time in which it was made.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you could have made the movie based on the book back then, especially not with Arnold in it.
Right.
And they had to adjust. It's like the Conan stories. They had to adjust so much of those stories to fit him.
I still think about the whole thing about, they had to delay the release of Running Man because they could have Arnold Schwarzenegger go against himself in the box office. And surprisingly enough, we talking about Predator, and that was the movie that was faced off against.
Yeah.
And Predator would have
the separation, people.
Arnold would have kicked his own butt at the box office. It would have been hilarious. But it's like I said, these films in their way, Prey, in its way, Badlands, they're more character development. And I like that in Badlands, we get to see it from their point of view. Even if there are things about their point of view that are harsh and intense, you still at least get a better understanding. They stop being the big baddie through Deck. You get an understanding of the attitudes of this group, who they are, what they believe in, and how they believe the universe runs. And then what happens when one of them runs up in a situation starting in his own home where he realized, the universe ain't what you think it is, kid. And he doesn't want to die. He knows the attitude of his father and his people. He does not want to be sacrificed. And his brother knows that because his brother loves him. His brother this is something we wouldn't have seen in any other Predator film because they wouldn't have been able to do it. Audiences didn't want to see that Predator.
Mm-hmm.
This is different because it's from their point of view, and we're seeing them not just as the big bad guy, but these are creatures with more. These are creatures. Yes, their codex is extreme. Their codex is extreme.
But it's still relatable. But that's the whole thing. It's like the father to son rite of passage. The tribalism is still all relatable.
And it makes you, and having studied about, there isn't a continent on this planet where you haven't had tribes like this.
Mm-hmm.
This extreme hunter warrior mentality where it's kill or be killed. It's either we're on top or we don't exist. We're the apex predator. We're everything. And like I said, I love this because it's more of a character study, and it kind of, he has that attitude and he starts with that attitude, but also you can see he's a character who's torn because that same attitude says, well, shoots, if I have to think away this, I have to die. Because that's what his father is showing up to tell his brother to do. I told you to kill it. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
tell y'all to sit here and talk and be friends. I told you to get up and kill this boy now. So it's a definitely interesting way of getting in and seeing what this thought process is and what happens when that thought process runs up against an environment that you don't know anything about. You've only heard rumors of. And now that you're in it, you realize you don't know anything about where you are, and you are so not prepared for what you're finding. So I think, like I said, for me, this was a good thing. I enjoyed it. There are a lot of people, who, because they're fans of racking up them kills, ripping off them heads, cleaning off them skulls. This ain't that movie. This ain't that
See,
movie.
the movie, the way you described it, seems like this is my type of movie that I wanted after two.
You know what? I would say give it a watch.
Mm-hmm.
I would say go ahead and give it a watch. I think you might enjoy it. There are people I know, your girls, I think would be bored.
Mhm.
I think, other than the fact that Elle Fanning is in it, and she's only half the woman that she's supposed to be through most of the film.
Literally so. Literally so.
But their interactions with each other is really good. I really enjoy the interactions with each other, because especially at the beginning, because he's like, he doesn't want to listen to her. He just thinks he knows everything. And it's like he learns really fast that he doesn't know nothing. Because he is totally, it's like, I know what I'm doing. When I was in the Marines, um they used to say it was like, you think you're Billy Badass on the block until you get to your first duty station and you realize you don't know nothing. Because you get that first duty station, it's like, oh wait, okay, I wasn't prepared. you know this is what it is. And I like that. And it has it had surprises I wasn't expecting.
Mm.
But it had a part that there was a part near the end that touched my heart. I was like, dang. There was a part where you kind of grieve.
Hmm.
Like I said, this is not, I mean, there are things, it's a planet where just about everything on that planet can or will kill you if you're not careful. And how he uses that towards the end for his redemption is just, it's like, oh, dude, really? Okay.
All right. Well, Cliff, you got a book review for us here?
I don't have much of a book review because White Death has kept us in the house and it's not going anywhere. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
I do have a couple of things I was going to bring up real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
First off, for any gamers that are out there, I may be lame, but I've jumped on the hype train. I cannot wait for Resident Evil 9 to come out.
Okay.
It looks amazing, and you get to return to the crater that used to be Raccoon City. So count me in. I'm
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting.
That's
Even though I enjoy, I still haven't, I haven't played all the way through it. I still like what 8 brought us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 8 was good. Apparently 9 is going to tie everything back in together. But
Okay.
Leon comes back. It brings back the characters from the Resident Evil Outbreak games if you played any of those. And yeah, they're back in Raccoon City, and you get to see the big hole in the ground that used to be the city.
So the three individuals in Outbreak are back.
I'm not going to spoil anything
Okay.
for what's coming up, but they are brought up, and there is at least one character from those games that's back.
I've never done the games, but I've watched just about all of the animated features as well as the live action.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, I'm hyped up for that.
Only thing I can say, I'm still mad at Chris. Something that Chris is not telling people.
Yeah.
And Leon, I think Leon knows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And also because I never sleep anymore. I've been watching bad horror movies at night.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things where the universe is aligned correctly because we were going to be on here today. Missy Lane, I watched The Howling 3 last night.
Oh no. Oh
And
no, the
I did not,
marsupials?
yes, I did
Why
not know.
didn't you reach out to me and ask me, is this a good movie? I could have told you, do not waste your time with that movie. No.
But,
No,
but that's the thing. He likes bad horror movies.
I like bad horror movies. And I
This
was like,
wasn't a bad horror movie. This was a crap horror movie.
wow, they're part kangaroo. This is awesome. And all the ladies have hairy boobies. What is happening? So, yeah. And I got to watch the miracle of
And the
some
end
kind of mutant
makes
bird.
no sense. The end makes no sense.
No, it didn't.
The end
yeah.
was like, the writer sat down and did like 40 ounces of cocaine and about 3 gallons of Jack Daniels and said, okay, at the end. And because the director and producers are all also imbibing at this time, they went, okay, fine. And you got the ending that you got.
I'm probably going to watch The Howling 4 tonight. Just
I'm trying to remember which one 4 is.
I don't remember
with
4.
The teenage kid?
I don't remember 4, so we will discover together. But yeah, I'm on a quest to just like punish myself for not sleeping because I've watched all the Reanimator movies. I didn't know there was more than one.
Why not just watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil? It's fun and funny.
But yeah,
but the Reanimator movies, they have their bits and pieces where you get a good laugh, but they were not good.
I was about to say,
anything beyond Reanimator 2 was not good.
Bride of Reanimator just made me want to puke. I'm sorry.
Again, if it wasn't for the invulnerable Dr. Fleisch, we would not have Reanimator.
Yes. And honestly, I'm glad I've seen these because Full Moon Features, who puts out a lot of these terrible movies, I started following them on YouTube. They've put out their list of movies for 2026 coming out, and I cannot wait for the Grim Rapper.
The Grim.
I usually follow Rue Morgue on Facebook, and they post something several times a day, and they talk because there's a magazine called Rue Morgue, and it's that same group, and they will tell you what's coming. They talk about features in the magazine coming out that month, and then they talk about what movies are coming down the pike.
I'm excited. I did not know that there were 12 Puppet Master movies.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize there were that many.
I am plowing through them because I'm up to the ones where you go back in time and you get to see them fight Nazis, and I am so excited. But I haven't got caught up on my KO yet for Job. Hopefully that'll be the next time we're here. I am still reading. I talked about it before. The new Resurrection Man series,
right.
Quantum Karma. The second issue is really good. The third issue is the one I'm waiting to dive into because the Phantom Stranger is going to be in it.
So okay.
Before I forget, did you see? Oh, you didn't because you weren't in the chat about the multiverse thing that we're doing. Did you tell him?
Yeah, Sunday. No, I didn't tell him. We got a Sunday slot.
Yes.
And we have to pick comics that are inspirational.
Which means I finally got the money, and there's a Spy versus Spy that's out from Mad, but I wouldn't say it was. I was going to do that, but then it's like, well, that's not inspirational. I don't know if I have necessarily an inspirational comic that fits that family friendly stuff.
And I picked what I think I picked a good candidate, but to me, it's very, very it's tear jerky at the end.
That's the Spider-Man you guys were talking about, right?
The Spider-Man, the kid who collects Spider-Man.
Yeah. The only other, because the one thing I thought of was God loves, man kills.
Mm-hmm.
That's the X-Men. I have remember
right,
I have
which I did last year.
You did last year, and it's like, well, we can't do that. I know I gotta call DC this weekend to say, hey, I need your book in the next 4 days because I've got to review it. So that we can, so I can have it in time so I can read it, and make my notes and review it. But I don't know if it's what you would call inspirational. You know, I'm like I said, I'm trying to figure out if I've got something that I mean, I have a lot of Alien versus Predator stuff.
Right.
Well, that's
See,
inspiring.
like I said, it's like you don't read the type of stuff that I do, and it's like the Spider-Man book was the first one that I know that was family friendly. The other one that,
Batman the Cult.
Yeah,
huh?
because even
Batman the Cult.
the Hero Academia mangas that I have aren't exactly family friendly. I
Friendly,
mean,
right?
No, but
yeah,
they're
Floaty Bandit
inspirational.
Girl alone would make parents scream and go, "Oh my God, she's got big tits and she floats!" No.
I think you could get away with My Hero because it is very inspirational.
It is, but again, you just can't really. If you show the manga version of Unaraka,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's like,
and
yeah,
I
there's certain poses that
Mhm.
she does.
is
Now
is
she calls her floaty girl, but she controls gravity.
Right.
yes, but she floats, and I call her Big Titty Floaty Girl,
Mhm.
But
or Big
again, it's
Floaty
like to
Titty
me
Girl.
that's not the one that I would be more like, yeah, you can't show her as much. It's like you could get away with Unirocket, but you can't get away with Sue, aka what is it called? Froppy.
Yeah.
And like
Or when
Froppy,
you
there's
get
certain outfits that she wears that you could not show.
in the
well, I mean,
manga,
if you make
and
it to the end of the series and you see the Invisible Girl visible,
Hmm.
that's not family friendly.
she's like naked or
Yeah, she's
something
naked
like
all the
that.
time. She's
Yeah.
literally naked all the time because it's like her powers doesn't really like shut off unless certain circumstances happen.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Charles gave me a collection of Hero Academia manga.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
like, well, it's not the same as the cartoon.
By
And,
no means.
and it's like, since we're supposed to be doing comics, things for kids to read, because another thing I thought about was Spy X Family on Hulu Plus is fun and
That's
lovely. It's
hilarious.
Manga's not.
hilarious.
The
The
manga is not.
manga is, yeah, and so it's like,
Mhm.
okay, I got to stick to something that people will read because that's what they do.
Mhm.
So it's like I am thinking, because I got some birthday money, which is why I got, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Couldn't help it. Sorry. My sister knows how to give me something that gives me giggles. Um, I was thinking, well, you know what? Maybe I'll run the Hyde Park this weekend. And because I was thinking I was going to hit a couple of stores out that way anyway, maybe I'll go to First Aid and see if I explain to him what I need, if I tell nurse what I need, he will help me out. It's like I need something that's inspirational. It can be a classic comic. It
Mhm.
can be a new comic, but it's got to be family friendly. Um, so because at first it's like, well, what about if I grab a Finding D? I was also thinking Beware of Toddler um,
Mhm.
is really funny. As
Yeah.
I'll get out on the grind, it's really funny.
Mhm.
And it's a little family friendly. George doesn't do like anything
Well,
that's
Beware
too.
of Toddler is family friendly. The humor can get a little bit dark.
It can be a little dark, but it's never too dark. It's
Right.
something that kids can read and parents can read, and it's not like, oh, I gotta, let me flip through these pages. Um, and so it's like, well, you know what? I think I may just have to run and see what I can find
The,
that will do, that will do, because it's like even Peanuts can be dark.
mhm.
Calvin and Hobbes can be, because at first it's like,
They can
well,
be dark, but they don't really truly inspire per se. You know.
they don't inspire you in the, they can inspire you to do things, but not the things your parents would want you
Right.
to do or
Mhm.
be. um and I don't know if kids these days would get like the humor of I got it, but I was a weird child. So I don't know if they would get like Doonesbury. And
No, I don't think so.
I used to read Doonesbury, and I read Doonesbury in the funny pages. So any kid,
I've
if
got
you
my
could,
book.
What's your
I
book?
just thought about it. I just discovered this recently. It's an older comic, but I
Mhm.
started reading it. Mark Wade's Irredeemable.
That's a good one, but the question is, there's going to be certain things that you might not be able to show. And it's like to help Elaine out. I know a couple of other things, but I don't think she's going to be able to read them.
Mm.
Like New Frontier, anything that Darwin Cook does is typically more of the inspirational superhero type stuff, but you're not into superhero type stuff. I do know that New Frontier was like one of the upper echelons. It's like having all of the old school heroes such as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, and everything in a time frame that was set more like 1930s, 1940s. But it's done in such a way where it was being told of like how they became symbols and not being as dark and jaded. They actually wore smiles more so, trying to uplift people throughout what their, throughout the adventures that was going on in that whole world that he created in New Frontier.
yeah, because I was also because at one point it's like, well, Myth Adventures comics are funny, but they're not necessarily family friendly,
Nope.
and they're
Mm.
definitely not inspirational. So it's like, oh my goodness, I see that. You better bring that on C2E2. And the first cobbler went very well.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's happy with it. I have enough to make another cobbler for C2E2. I've got an 8x12 pan that I'm going to make it in. And other than leaving a little home for the boys, I will be probably packing it up into individual um, containers because I know Jana's coming. My friend who comes every year, she's coming. And we're sending. I talked to Afua Richardson. She'd like a bit.
Yep. I'm happy that
So
she's coming back. A few other people that I know that are coming back that are pros that are coming back. So for me, it'll be a little bit more of a reunion. Most of my buddies from like high school and college and stuff, they're probably not going to be here this year.
oh, so the usual guys that come aren't coming?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
oh,
majority are not coming.
oh
But
man.
again, it's more because of financial reasons more so than anything else. One is having a roof put on like their condo, and he has to fork out money for stuff like that, and then
Yeah,
he has like
they
another
got the
family
special.
outing that's happening. Yeah, another
They have
family
to make the
outing and
special
everything.
contribution.
Go.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Real quick before
Uh,
we move on to Joe's thing, I have to give this shout out to my wonderful, wonderful wife who's back from Germany. And while she was over there, she went shopping
Ooh.
and she brought me some German comics.
Yay!
Hellboy.
A German Hellboy, which is still in the plastic. I don't know if I'm going to open it because it's German. It's just I'm keeping it.
Okay.
It's not like you could read it unless you know German.
Well, there's Google Lens. I can cheat. Speaking of, I did a major boo boo that I'll tell y'all later about
Okay.
something when she was over there, and it was embarrassing to her, but I found it hilarious. Um, she got me a set of the
Ooh.
early '90s
Superman Red, Superman
Superman,
Blue.
the Electric Kool-Aid Superman books,
Yeah, Superman Red, Superman Blue.
and I
Ooh.
am so excited for those. But the best one that she found,
That's
I
a
don't
treasure.
know, I don't know much about this, but it's Superman Classique, and if you can tell, it's got Brainiac in the background on it.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
But the interiors,
Oh,
let me
that's a
see.
big book.
Let me find a good page. There we go. It's Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Wait, hold on,
Ooh.
hold on. Let me give you the big screen for people can see it here. There it
Yeah.
is.
Cool.
So it's a Superman. I'm assuming this is classic. I don't
Right,
know.
classic with a K.
Yeah, but
Because
There
it's
is.
German.
I don't think there is no C in the German language.
It
But
is. It's just, it's different
Mhm.
than what we use.
from what I can tell, it's like the first 2 or 3 issues of Crisis.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited to have this. Again, I can't read it, but I think it's pretty awesome.
I
Um,
remember when they used to do the specialty versions. They used to do like special books like Conan and certain other books in those double size, the large
Mhm.
double size. And
mhm,
then when they did the precursor to graphic novels, which was when they did the comic book versions of certain movies like the Star Wars trilogy, the Star
mhm.
Trek films, Rock and Roll and stuff, came in that size.
The Treasury
I,
edition size.
Yeah,
yeah,
those
I'm on
treasury
a
editions.
every time I go to a convention, I'm on the hunt for a decently priced the Treasury Edition books because I always thought they were so cool when I was growing up.
I have a
Um,
list of ones I want to see if I can find.
but the 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 crown jewel of my Treasury, yes, the crown jewel of my Treasury Edition comics is the Treasury Edition Howard the Duck, where he
Okay.
fights the Hell Cow.
Now
Now is that
I'm still sad that this is a reprint. This is a
oh,
foil
okay,
reprint, and that's a foil reprint.
yeah, yeah,
But the
right
other two,
before,
this one is the actual first edition original print, and that one is original print. At this point in time, I think these two are the closest thing that I'm probably going to have to the actual original comic,
mhm,
at least for now.
yeah,
I think
well,
what I will do is I will ask James on Sunday. I might call him tomorrow and say, "Hey, I need to find something. What do you have that fits this that's family friendly?"
mhm,
you know?
yes, and but yeah, so the wife hooked me up greatly from Germany, and
Yay, wifey!
while she was there, I was trying my best to help her with learning her German, and so I would text her in German, hoping she would take the time to like go and Google Translate it and all that. Um,
Google
yeah,
Translate messed you up.
no, I wish Google Translate messed me up. But what happened was I text her and I was like, I miss you and I love you and I can't wait to see you again.
Ich liebe
And
dich.
then and then at the bottom of the text in German, I put down what all I missed about her.
Oh no.
The translation. Oh my goodness.
And instead of taking the time to Google Translate it, she was at dinner with her uncle and said, "Oh, he wrote this to me."
And
And
she read it out. Oh,
yeah.
you and before you didn't write, "Hey, do not read this out, do not read this out loud where other
I
people
didn't
are around. This is our
I
sexy talk."
I didn't think she would do anything besides Google Translate it because the last one I sent her like that, she did the Google Translate on it.
But it was sexy talk. You needed to say, "Hey baby, this is our sexy talk. Don't do this in front of other people." Now
Yeah.
it's your uncle, her uncle sitting there like, "That boy is a freak."
Well, it's okay because we found out that one of her uncles who passed away a few years ago owned a swingers club in Germany, so we're okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, swingers clubs in Germany aren't that hard to find.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
yeah, no, I had to quit sending stuff in German just because I damn me for trying to be nice and helpful. So,
No. It's called American prudishness.
but yeah.
Yeah. I took German for a year. The best I could come up with was like Karl ruft einen Taxi.
Mm. Well, I did feel better
Carl
because
Carl hurled the Carl hailed the taxi cab.
Okay.
well, I did feel a little bit better because a few days later, uh, her German family took her and her mother to a party, and she thought it was like a family reunion type thing, but it turned out it was some kind of like carnival season or something in Germany,
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
there were just togas and people dressed as giant penises as far as the eye could see.
Oh,
Yeah.
they when they have those celebrations. If you want something that's not insane, it's best to go to like when they're doing a Chris Kringle mark.
So,
You know,
yeah.
but then make sure that they don't have a Krampus parade coming through,
Mhm.
because that gets a little, you know, wild and creepy.
Mhm.
But and it's so funny that I know so much about German culture.
So, but no, I'm glad she's back home, and I'm glad she brought me some comics. That was very
She didn't
cool.
kill you over the children, you know, because that was like, I was like, okay,
Well,
is he going to survive to make it to the show? Because I remember what you told me what the girls did to you, and the fact that y'all hadn't, you know, you hadn't shoveled yet.
well, that's the part that I thought he was going to die because of the simple fact there was like 6 inches of ice that was on the driveway. It's like, okay, she's going to drive and be like, skip.
I know, but that was fine. But a few days later, when it was starting to clear off a little bit, and she tried to get back to work, um, she was coming home and couldn't get up the driveway. She kept sliding back down, and I went out there to
To
try
help her.
to just see what was happening and to warn her because I told you we put down our puppy, so we had put the kennel out for the garbage to pick up,
Mhm.
but the ice had floated it in front of the driveway, and she ran over it and sent pieces of the kennel everywhere. So I was like, well, I didn't get out here in enough time, but I'd gone out far enough that the driveway's gravity took over, and I slid down the driveway, and she was opening the door of the van to try and see what was going on, and she slid out the van.
Oh no! I thought you had slid into the door.
No, and
No, I thought it
I
was
didn't.
going to be like he's sliding. He's sliding. If he actually hit ground, he slides up under it as soon as she opens up the door. And you're like, "Hi, honey." Yeah,
No, I thought
No,
she was. I when he said she was sliding, and then she opened the van door. My first thought was like, door, cliff.
well,
It's two, two,
well,
two
the
minutes and one.
I didn't actually fall. I just slid on my
Oh,
standing
okay.
up with my cane and my feet. But for any of you pro wrestling fans out there, if you know who Orange Cassidy is,
yes.
I
Okay.
looked like him sliding down the driveway.
The effortless.
And because I'm me and I'm stupid, once I got down there and made my way back up the hill, I realized, oh, I forgot to get the kennel. So I
Oh no.
turned around and slid down the other side of the driveway the exact same way into the van, and I put my hands on it to stop. And Micah, my dear wife, opened the door and said, "Dumbass, get in the car and stop." And our neighbor was nice enough to provide the video footage of all of this from their security camera to us.
How's your
Wait, wait,
father-in-law,
wait,
by
wait.
the
Hold,
way?
hold on. Did you make sure that your neighbor got rid of the incriminating evidence of what your daughter did to slide all the way back into the house?
Yes. See, thankfully, that was in the backyard, and their camera doesn't see our backyard; it just sees our driveway. So I was
Oh,
Okay.
lucky.
okay.
But
Oh
yeah,
my goodness. I feel bad now. I have like 120 pounds of salt in our
mhm.
front vestibule because, you know, we got hit by those heavy snows a couple of weeks ago, and we had run out of ice. And the last time we got hit, I you if you got it would be like you be walking down and it was like ice, and then you get to like the next apartment before mine, and then it's a little icy on the driveway, and then you get to our part of the sidewalk, and it's no ice, no snow, just crunch, crunch, crunch as you're walking
Mm.
on the salt. 'Cause I murdered that sidewalk. But it's because what happened was the last snowfall happened at 3 something in the morning. So I
Mhm.
woke up and there was snow. And it's like, great. Now I get before I can even go out there and go do what I need to do, I gotta go shovel. And I went out there and it was like, oh wait, this is a mild dusting. All I gotta do is salt it, and that'll
Mhm.
take care of it. So that's what I did. So now when you're walking down the street, it's just crunch, 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 crunch.
Right.
It's like our sidewalk is kind of like a pretzel. You know,
You
I,
know, the wife missed all of the fun because she was in Germany. And the day she flew back home, Ravensburg, where she was at, got hit by a snowstorm.
Oh no.
So yeah, she missed it over there too.
Oh, so she was
Yeah.
like, she got doubly blessed. She didn't have to deal with it here and she didn't have to deal with it there.
Yeah, but she got the creeping crud from all the beer and schnitzel over there, and she's been pretty miserable.
Oh,
So
oh. Is she feeling any better?
I try to avoid her when she's sick.
Oh.
She's a demon.
Do you have Aldi that you can get to?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aldi sells you know that lovely Mexican colas and the root beers they sell in the 4-packs. They also sell a ginger beer.
Uh,
And it's strong, but it'll help knock the cold out of you.
mm. Yeah, well, she went to the doctor yesterday, and it's not really so much the cold; it's the other problems that as a female you can get from drinking too much and having too much sugar
Oh,
intake and all that. So
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
Hug her
yeah.
for me. Tell her I'm so sorry.
I'm scared of her. I'm not going to do that.
No, it's like I like my arms, I like my hands.
Tell her it's from me.
Oh, okay.
It's like he's still going to be like, I like my
Say
arms, I like my
Elaine is
hands.
channeling sister hugs to
Mm.
you through me. Okay?
I will.
You know,
I'll
can
send one of the
sell
girls to do
t-shirt.
it.
Oh, okay.
I'll send one of the girls to do it.
Send your youngest. That way they can giggle about it. I'm sorry. And Joe, you've got like 22 minutes for your cartoon.
Oh, we got it. But let me start off by saying it is the Golden Adventures is really dealing with Goldie Gold and Action Jack.
Oh, okay.
And after seeing this one episode, I just got to the realization that if this person actually existed in real life, she would be one of the most dangerous people in the world. Only because it's just only because she's so nonchalant about all the stuff that she has at her access that just like, you sure that the government is not that's not in your pocket and all this other stuff? It's like, how do you have all of this type of stuff and no country is coming after you? Really?
Well, you never know.
I mean, but these are the cartoons that we had back in the early 80s. Now, for those who have never seen Goldie Gold and Action Jack, like I said before, it's kind of like a cartoon version of like what Heart to Heart could have been, but you could tell that Ruby Spears was going for something similar to, like, if you remember the Marvel Comics version of Spider-Woman. If you ever watched that cartoon series, that short-lived cartoon series.
I never saw the series Spider. I never saw the.
It's
Marvel
on
series.
It's
on Disney Plus.
It's on
Oh,
Disney
then I
Plus.
will look it up. Okay, I will look it up because I like the early Jessica Drew comics.
Mhm.
I like
Right.
the early comics because
The Spider-Woman cartoon series was pretty much they said that it's like she got bitten and all this other stuff. A spider is just like she was taking the special spider turn that gives her specialized spider power. So they did a modified version of her origin. They did not talk about the fact that she was kind of like a clone and part alien as of yet. From like
no, the original, when I was reading when they first were introducing her, it was she had been on that island with what's his name. And when that all fell apart, she decided she decided she didn't want to stay and she wanted to get out and see what the world was like. And so it was, and it dealt with her trying to figure out her place in the world, the abilities, why the abilities she had made her different, trying to find a job, trying to learn how to negotiate just human interaction and stuff. It was one of the things I loved about the book. She was so much a stranger in a strange land.
That was her original volume one run, most at least towards the tail end. Well, I should say towards the tail end of like the first 10 issues was that way, was her trying to figure out what's what. And
You
then
know,
the Marvel Spotlight issue, which first introduced her, pretty much highlighted, her the beginning origin that she wasn't 100% human.
okay. Because they first made it out like the high evolutionary whatever that he had
Well,
created.
that's the reason why I said that she's not 100% human.
She had thought that she was like all the rest of those people on the island, that he had created her and everything.
Well,
Um,
Wonder Gore was not based upon human physiology as a whole here, even though
no,
we had a lot of anthropomorphic people there. She was one that was like a crossbreed, if I remember correctly. She was part human and part something else because of the high evolutionary.
yeah, but like I said, and we're talking the early
Mhm.
issues of that because I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to. Um, in the very early issues, it was her trying to find her footing in the world because it was very much this fish out of water. Who am I? What is my place? How do I fit in this world? Because I'm used to being this,
Yeah.
and now I'm this.
Why did I catch the attention of Shield all of a sudden and yada yada yada? It's like,
You
oh,
know,
I leave the island now. Here's Shield coming after me. He was like, what did I do?
but it was like I said, it was one of the things I liked because it was this female superhero. She was trying to do good. She didn't get out there and like, hey, I got these powers. Why not go steal stuff? She was trying to figure out how do you be a good person. I've got these abilities. I should do. And the first couple of episodes weren't so much. She didn't set out to like, I'm going to be a superhero. It was very situational.
Mhm.
She would be doing something and a situation would pop up and she would realize, okay, I'm the one best qualified to deal with this. So she would like have to do something, or it would become very personal where, oh, okay, it's attacking me now, I guess I better kick its butt. um
And then she
it,
realized that she had to conceal her identity because people couldn't see her do these things without being afraid of her.
yeah, and the whole, and getting her costume, and I remember the issue where I forgot what she was doing before, but she had this woman had found when she had tucked her costume in an alley
Mhm.
and put her costume on and then went to a disco
Right.
and went dancing in the disco in her costume.
Hmm.
And it was very upsetting for her because it was like she thought she'd hit it where nobody would see it.
And B, how do you come up to a person like that without kind
You
of saying
you
that,
stole my
yeah, I
costume.
am this individual?
I think that's the same one that had the weird melty man in it.
Probably so.
Now,
That
was this before or after she was a Skrull?
this was
Way before this
this was
1970s,
way before this
1970s Spider, 1970s Jessica Drew. Getting back,
this
getting back to the point of Spider Woman, it's like Ruby Spears lifted a lot of stuff off of the animated series for Spider Woman because Jessica Drew had her own magazine. Goldie Gold has her own media network. She owns her own newspaper outfit
oh okay.
and everything. Action Jack is is one of her investigative reporters that goes along with her. Same thing with I forgot what's his name in the Spider Woman
Okay.
episode. There is no nephew. There is no nephew, so we don't have anybody going around calling her Auntie Goldie. But she does have a dog named Nugget, and it's a Labrador Retriever. And Nugget is pretty smart. Nugget is a pretty smart dog, but the thing about it is that for her to be the richest girl in the world and the type of stuff that she has access to, I think she's a dictator of the world because it's just like nothing phases her. She has no second thought or anything. It's just like, oh, it's like how are we going to track him down? It's like, what do you mean? How are we going to track him down? I'm just going to put my car in hover mode and it becomes a flying car. It's like you have a flying car. Her airplane It's literally like a flying fortress, like you could live on it.
Mm-hmm.
Full swimming pool, everything. You could. It's like, yeah. And you think that other countries are not going to be intimidated by her?
Yeah, unless they can send
This
women.
episode is going to show one thing that makes me think it's like, oh yeah, you have that in space, really, and none of the world government is coming after you. Like, what in the world? But before we get too deep into the weeds and go a whole bunch over, it's now that time for me to introduce everybody to Goldie Gold and Action Jack.
Goldie Gold, the world's richest girl. And Action Jack, daredevil reporter for Goldie's newspaper, the Gold Street Journal. By air, by sea, by the seat of their pants, they travel the world in search of adventure. Goldie Gold and Action Jack.
I half expected the
We now
solid gold
return with
dancers.
Goldie Gold and Action Jack.
Local
Steve
tax
Gerber.
experts are
Stupid
here.
commercial.
Now you can make a tax expert in your community.
Boo! Stop with commercials.
What did Steve Gerber have to do with this?
He was the writer of the episode. He was the screenwriter for this.
Oh, okay.
Goldie to tower, Goldie to tower. I'm starting my approach. All clear for landing?
You got it, Goldie. Welcome home. You too, Nugget.
The bottom of the screen is going to be important, so I'm going to put us like this here.
And there just happened to be ink and
Those are
ancient
the
Mayan
whitest. Those are the whitest Mayan.
I've ever seen. And nobody's noticed.
Aren't you Jack Travis, the reporter who works for Goldie Gold's newspaper? I'm Professor Harker. Where's our hostess? She flew to Hawaii this morning on business, but she should have been back by... That's Goldie now.
That's how big this place is. She flies a helicopter inside.
Yeah, except those rotors.
Yes.
Goldie, what took you so...
I know you like me, Jack, but you don't have to fling yourself at my feet.
And none of their security caucus.
This way, Goldie. You've got to greet your guests. Yes?
I like how they have the love child of Stan Lee and Colonel Sanders on here.
Uh-oh.
See?
Purple
kidnapped
haze run through his mind. Excuse me while I touch the sky.
Goldie, baby! Them 4 humps of beefcake are making off with your guests!
They've got Professor Harker.
Not yet, they haven't. Hurry!
Goldie, you're going the wrong way. You can't chase them indoors in a helicopter.
Oh, yeah? Just watch me.
Well, you're not going to chase them alone.
She gonna fly. That's how big this place is.
But still.
There they go, Goldie. Down the main hallway.
Nobody's dresses are flying up. None of the tablecloths are being blown around, and they should be.
I'm just astonished by the animators were like, make sure every stereotype is represented somewhere in the crowd.
Get out that get out of that cart. He's like, get out that cart. You need this cart.
Goldie, turn back! We're gonna crash!
Oh my goodness.
Yay! Let him have it, Jack!
That's easy for you to say! What are you trying to do? Rock me to sleep?
No kaboom, just okay.
Yeah.
Rotors are just
Me?
The rotors are gone.
the rotors are gone off an explosion like that. Normally it would have been helicopter go boom.
I was about to say that should have taken out the entire copter.
Now
Mhm.
what do we do?
We go to the newspaper office and we look for a lead.
More importantly, dude carried that unconscious man up that wall one arm. Why didn't he just take out the entire house?
A problem, my warriors. A problem by the name of Goldie Gold. She has chosen to meddle in the plans of the Crystal Skull, and she must therefore be eliminated. After them!
Mayans who can drive.
You may own this paper, Goldie, but I'm the editor. I want to know why you're poking around in my files.
If you
Because
must.
she owns the paper.
Mr.
Shut up.
Harper was captured and taken from my party tonight.
Thomas Harker? The guy
So
who
glad to
was
see Robbie Robertson got a job after the Daily
two
Bugle
Air
shut
Forcemen
down.
named Bolin and Ripley. The astronauts?
I think Sam's trying to say this might be important, Jack.
Put it this way. With Harker's knowledge and those two flyboys under control, a man could destroy the Earth.
What's wrong, Nugget? Those
See, I told you, Nugget is very, very smart.
Oh no, you're not getting away twice.
Goldie!
See, not even thinking. I'm like, oh no, you came after me. Y'all about to pay.
Downstairs, hurry!
She's like, you about to pay.
Loud and clear, Sam.
And somehow she managed to grab the rope. Even though she jumped out head first.
Whoa, Jack! Help! Jack!
I got you, Goldie!
Help! Jack!
Really?
Goldie! Grab my hand!
I'm trying!
How convenient. How convenient.
Rats! They gave us the slip again.
They couldn't have gotten far.
Goldie, honey, is that you?
Hobo Joe, what are you doing here?
Hobo Joe.
Yes.
A couple of months ago.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
to interrupt the reunion, but you didn't happen to see a couple of Inca warriors run by, did you?
My good man, those guys didn't run by. They lammed out of here in a black limo.
Thanks, Joe. You've been an enormous help.
For you, sweetheart, anything.
And she don't even give him a $5 bill.
It goes to show you how powerful she could be.
The black limo. Get going, Goldie.
He's the richest woman on earth and has a friend named Hobo Joe.
Yes.
Just a train.
Who'll do anything for her, but she won't even put him up in a hotel
What?
for a night.
You give up much too easily.
What's that?
I put us in hover mode. Hang on tight.
He doesn't even realize that she has a flying car.
A pity we could not dispose of Goldie Gold permanently. But at least she can interfere no more. No! It can't be! Destroy them! Destroy them!
Here comes another bomb.
And yet the car didn't blow up.
Farewell, Goldie Gold, forevermore.
Goldie! Goldie! Are you okay? Oh no, she's out cold.
That poor dog.
It's no use, Nug. We're trapped like canned salmon. What's that? We're leaking. Hope you can swim, Nugget. If we're gonna survive, it's up to me to save us. But how? There's so many nutty gadgets in this car.
Well, wait till it pressurizes and then you can get the door open or at least roll the window down.
Here goes. Son of a gun! An airtight seal. We made it! Soggy, maybe, but safe and sound. Looks like the
Again, how does a person like her have the spy-like weaponry and vehicles?
What happened? Are we safe?
We're fine. Now you just rest. Save your energy for the trip to
Now,
Peru.
just for the folks watching at home, kids, if you're unconscious that long, you're not waking up fine. You're dead. Just letting you know.
I still don't get it. Why Peru?
Peru was the location of the ancient Incan Empire, Goldie. And that weird
the
mask the
Incas,
warrior's
not
leader
Mayans.
was wearing, it's molded after the crystal skull artifacts found in the Incan ruins.
Peru's a big country, Jack. How will we find them?
If you were an Incan trying to hide out in the modern world, where would you go? How about an ancient Incan stronghold, high on a mountaintop and almost impossible to get to?
Machu Picchu. Of course.
See, it's educational too.
Mm-hmm.
Silly me, my first thought was I'd go to Walmart and get some normal clothes to fit in.
Yeah, that would.
So, Goldie Gold survived. Does she think she can find us here? Miss Gold is most resourceful. I think we can expect her to pay us a surprise call, but the surprise will be hers.
Too bad we couldn't take the copter, but old Skullface would have heard us a mile away.
It's okay. I packed some other special equipment just in case. How much further to go?
Again, you heard her. Other special equipment.
Another 500 or 600 feet, an airplane. We're under attack.
Jack, Nugget, this way. I brought along something just for the occasion.
And we're supposed to believe she can outfly an airplane with a hang glider. Now she might be more maneuverable.
And you hang glide like a pro.
Me? I thought you were flying this thing.
Right.
Big ass fishing net.
And nobody's hurt.
Goldie Gold. And And you too, Mr. Travis. You've arrived just in time to witness the ultimate triumph of the Crystal Skull.
Anybody notice there's a big difference between his hands and the rest of his body?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not me. It's not just me. What did the puppy do that you would want to kill it that way?
Miss Gold, I shall be soaring into space. My ship, piloted by the astronauts Ripley and Boland, will be destroying Earth's communications and military satellites. Chaos will reign the Earth, and the destruction will not cease until I am declared ruler of the world.
Oh,
I think he's crazy. Let them fall, but slowly.
You won't get away with this, you bubblehead. I hope.
Lift off at once.
Notice that the astronauts did not put on any space equipment or spacesuit.
And they're military men. They're trained fighters, and yet.
Period.
Nugget, pull off my boot heel.
Poor Nugget should be. The heat should be killing Nugget by now.
Good boy, Nugget. My turbo mini jet will do the rest.
It's working. We're swinging
Again, if you had that type of gadgets, weaponry, and access to these type of resources, you are kind of sort of one of the most dangerous people on the planet.
And the heat should have not that.
The heat would have caused the ropes to break anyway, and they would have dropped a long time ago.
And they would have passed out from that heat. When you think about that much contained heat, they would.
And she's nonchalant and got a space shuttle.
satellite. There's the satellite. Fire!
He did it! He blasted that satellite to bits!
And now he's turning the lasers on us. So, she escaped the lava.
It's a smiley face.
Into atoms.
Right.
To return his fire. Scare him off.
We can't! My shuttle doesn't have any weapons! I never thought I needed any!
Get us out of here.
We'll retreat to my satellite mansion!
You heard her, right?
Yeah.
She thought it's like I have a. Now she has a mansion in space.
And she couldn't close the thingy.
He followed us here?
Into the house! Run! They can't get through the doors. We're safe.
Yeah, you're so safe. So safe.
I don't think we can outrun a pack of Incan warriors.
He's definitely the girl in this
We're
movie.
gonna have a bump. Your head won't be hurting for long, Mr. Travis. I'll see to that. You won't escape me for long, Travis.
He can't aim worth anything.
You defend yourself without overcushion. I'm sorry. I'm basically a very gentle guy.
That tree has got the strongest root system ever.
Welcome to Goldie's last stand, Nugget. Tough luck, boys. Missed me.
Okay.
Keep away! Just for a second, Nugget! I did it, Nugget! I shut off the artificial
Again, just
through the whole house.
impulsive.
What happened to the gravity? Now I have you, fool.
She just does not think. Just like, okay, I just want to do it.
Now to give these clowns a real surprise.
Except that's not how gravity control would work. It,
I know.
I mean, I'm not a astro engineer, but I know enough to know that. Uh-huh.
Professor Harker? He was the Crystal Skull?
I figured it out back in Peru. His capture at the party was a fake to throw suspicion off him. A guy
Right,
who
and
could
you didn't say anything.
to capture a satellite scientist. So the skull had to be Harker himself. You stand guard on him, Doug. If he tries anything, bark, and I'll come running.
They're like you going to do
So
anything.
much for the case of the Crystal Skull.
Sorry, Jack. Didn't mean to scare you. What do you think? Should I save it for Halloween?
And that's pretty much it. These are the cartoons that we grew up with in the 80s.
Ah, okay, because I'm from the 60s. It was a different time.
And yeah, definitely a different time, but still, with a person that has that type of resources, that's like, even if you was the richest person in the world, you wouldn't have just free reign and access to do all of that stuff that she did in that episode. I'm sorry.
You would also have staff people to do those things for you. You wouldn't be flying your own shuttle. You would have a flight crew. No one, from what I know of the space shuttle technology, that's not something that only one person is going to be sitting there doing. It takes, it's like a large jet. There are things, there's navigators, and there's a reason you have a pilot and a co-pilot, and I'm sorry, I'm just
I know, right? It's like it's not the fact that we're poking fun at the reality of it. It's just more along the lines. It's like, okay, if it's going to be fiction, at least make it believable fiction.
That's what I'm saying. It's just because he's not flying with her. He's not managing any controls because he doesn't know how. And it's like, do you know how much training it would take to become that class of pilot? And it was like, okay, like the hang glider thing. And then they're being chased. Air currents and stuff, they should have been slammed into a mountainside.
It's just the randomness of it. It's like, oh, the hang glider is built into a backpack, and then the dog just climbs onto her back. The dog does not have anything to really keep himself really tethered to her. As soon as they jump, dog goes flying right into the canyon.
Puppy goes splat in the mountainside.
I mean,
where Puppy go? Puppy go boom. Puppy go down the hole.
just like you said, when they put them over the lava pit, it's like, yeah, they're dead. The rope would have never made it with all that heat, and then they would have suffocated, or at least got to the point where they would either been passed out from the heat exhaustion, or they would have suffocated.
Heat exhaustion or heat stroke would have taken them out before they got anywhere near the lava. Because they would have barely been able to breathe, let alone talk, like have those exchanges, at that tone. It's like, okay, there's just so much about this that isn't making sense. And I'm kind of glad I miss these things, because I would be driving my kids crazy going, you can't do that. That doesn't make sense. Hello, do you not understand engineering? You can calculate pi and you think this is believable? They would want to kill me.
But that's the type of thing. That's the reason why I say I have to go back and do more research on it. It's like they lifted a lot of stuff from the Spider-Woman cartoon series. Now, again, Jessica Drew is a superhero. Yeah, she has she got superhuman powers. That makes sense. You're just a regular woman who just have access to resources.
It's like, And what
I was like, oh, you
resources?
guys not going to get away from me again. I'm just going to jump out the window and try to rappel down the side of my
But the thing is she jumps head first. She's going like this way, and then we see her on the rope, and it's like there's no way you're going to jump. And the rope is such she's gonna tear her hands up. There's no way she could have hung on. I'm sorry.
No, what's even worse is that when they shook the rope to get her to lose her balance, it's no way you're going to be able to hold on to a rope without sliding down the way that they had her positioned. And she had the rope between her feet, kind of like that.
And you
would have been sliding down as you were up here asking for help. And by the time you really got some type of real good footing or something to that magnitude, 9 times out of 10, your foot would have came apart. You would have fell.
Not to mention going down the rope at that speed to try and grab it with your hands to stop it, her palms would have just been bloody messes.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who knows how to rappel down a wall, it's just not. It's
not. Again, like I said, we're not looking at it as far as how accurate it is to real life. It's just the feasibility of this, and we kind of know where it was what they were trying to go for here. You know, like I said, it's a cross between like setting up kind of like a heart-to-heart story. You know, wealthy people going on all these different adventures and everything. It's supposed to be fantastical and all this other stuff, but this is like way over. And
the Hearts at least had a chauffeur.
Well, they had other people working for them.
Yeah,
she has other people working for her, but only at the newspaper, not dealing with her own personal affairs.
Richie Rich made more sense.
Richie Rich had a whole host of people in the household.
He also had that robot.
The more I do research on Iona, the more I'm up here is like, if Iona wasn't there, Richie Rich, that's what makes me think that Casper could have been Richie Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Iona wasn't there,
he'd be dead.
He would be dead because all of the other people that was in Richie Rich's, family and in his immediate vicinity, none of them could have protected Richie like Iona could.
Well, that and, he spent so little time with his parents.
Very little time with his parents. Cadbury could only do so much. And Professor Keenbean is not a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget the dollar.
And when you think about it, I'm in my mind picturing Richie and Casper. Take away Richie's hair. Yeah, Casper would be Richie's ghost.
Am I the only one upset that we didn't see Hobo Joe anymore?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, Hobo Joe. And it's like, this man just gave you vital information. You're not going to throw him a 50? Because in them days, $25, $15, $20 would have got him a hotel room, a shower, and a meal.
And a bag of Ripple.
It's not that cartoon. Well, they were doing. I kept
again.
Purple Haze, man. All I could hear in my head was Jimi Hendrix going Purple Haze. Some pipes with the. Oh goodness! It's like, yep. We're having Jimi Hendrix moments.
But this was one of those cartoons that I was like, I'm going back. It's like, because I went back to go revisit Plastic Man, I was like, okay, I remember Plastic Man, and I remember watching a whole bunch of Goldie Go and Action Jack. I was like, and then now since I'm rewatching it now as an adult, I was like, boy, were we duped. We were so duped. It's like, this is so cool. It's like, but it's not realistic by no means. This is like so far off the wall. But again, it fits with the Plastic Man comedy hour.
But
because Plastic Man was a superhero and was so fantastic and all the stuff that he could do and whatnot. This fits along with it,
Plus, Krabs Flash Gordon. was more grounded
this
in reality.
Goldie Gold was played with the Plastic Man cartoon?
Yes.
Okay, see,
And-
now
and
that's
it's not-
crazy to
and-
me
and-
because I distinctly and vividly remember watching Plastic Man.
So you remember
I
the
have
Plastic Man comedy hour before it
I
became
have
Plastic Man and Baby Blast hour.
I have no memory whatsoever of Goldie Gold.
Because during the Plastic Man comedy hour, you had Plastic Man, Goldie
Mhm.
Gold, Mighty Man and Yuck. And I forgot what that fourth one was. It was a fourth one that used to play along with it.
See, because I remember Mighty Man
Fang Face.
and I remember
okay.
Fang Face.
That
Yeah,
was
I
the
don't remember.
werewolf one, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Fang Face.
where
Okay.
all he had to do was
Of
look at
course
a
I
picture of
remember.
the moon and change.
Mhm.
Yeah, I of course I remember the werewolf. You know.
Yeah, see, that's crazy
Sorry.
because I remember all of those, but I have no memory of Goldie Gold.
Well,
I remember Goldie Go because all the other ones used to be like, anywhere between like 5 minutes here, 6 minutes there.
Mhm.
When they showed a Goldie Go was a half hour. So you know that half of that Plastic Man comedy hour was going to be taken up by Goldie Gold, if not the whole episode.
okay.
That's really strange.
Again, we block the stuff out that we don't like. And a lot of people,
Apparently.
I can understand why you don't remember Goldie Gold, because it was like, oh yeah, I remember this. And then I remember bits and pieces of the cartoon, because I remember how Action Jack was always trying to be overprotective of her, just like kind of like how, what was his name, Jonathan Hart was with Heart to Heart.
Yeah, but he's such the girl. Jonathan was never the girl. That dude was the girl.
Well, it was kind of funny because
That dude was the girl. I'm sorry, he was the girl
it
in
kind of
that
switched.
situation.
It kind of switched some because there were times where, like, she was the damsel in distress and he was trying to save her, and then he was the one needing saving. It was like they couldn't decide which one of
They
them
couldn't
was.
figure out. It was like they were switch hidden. Maybe they
Yeah.
were both bi. Or
Maybe,
something,
I don't
'cause
know.
it's like, because
Well, I
it's like
mean,
1 minute, and sometimes this was also at a time when you had things like the kung fu things, and it's like you would always have the girl that could do kung fu,
mhm,
but for some reason they would always need to rescue her. Any other
mhm.
point, she'd be kicking butt, but for some reason the guys show up and suddenly it's like, oh, hey. He kind of made me think of that. It's like, okay,
Mm, yeah.
you kind of have a sense of agency, but in the end you're just a girl.
Mhm.
Well, that's
I'm
what
sorry,
makes
he's the
that what
girl.
makes it so laughable, because she's up here like, oh, it's like, you came after me, I'm going to take care of this myself, and goes out the window. It's like, I'm about to chase after her. It's like, wait a second, you just going to throw caution to the wind. Oh, it's like, oh, they're going to go to space. Let's just go grab my space shuttle. What?
And I've got my own space platform that I've got a custom
That's like,
house in.
yeah, it's like, they're shooting lasers at. Let's head back to my space mansion. You got a mansion in space,
And nobody's tried to
and,
shoot
all,
it
and
down.
all these other countries on the planet is okay with that you have a floating mansion in space.
Did we even have the International Space Station at
No,
that time?
no, this is
I was about to say,
1981. It's
yeah, so we didn't
1981.
even have the International Space
Space
Station at that
station,
time.
yeah.
So the idea of somebody having her own little,
We
and
were
it's like, where's the water coming from?
we were in the beginnings of Reagan's pitch for Star Wars initiative.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was about to say, how are you? And it's like, wait a minute, I know how that's gravity is generated on those ships and stuff, and baby girl, you don't have the thing to do this, and y'all should just be floating around. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad I missed it.
Again, I don't think the gyroscopic technology was out during that time.
And because it wasn't out, or it was it was theoretical at that time.
Mm-hmm.
The guys who make the cartoons wouldn't have had access to that, and wouldn't have didn't have a science advisor, because a lot of these, they're saving money. So they're not going to bother asking. They're not going to call anybody from NASA and say, hey, we're doing this thing and we think we might have the character do XYZ. Is this scientifically plausible?
Yeah, like it's scientifically plausible to blow up the rotors of a helicopter without destroying the motor
the helicopter
itself.
Like, the force of that explosion blasting out that the windshields.
No, it didn't blast out the windshield. It literally impacted the engine and the front grille of her car. Again, no big kaboom. No big kaboom. It's just like it's
the glass in the front of the helicopter should have been gone. That's
right.
When the rotors were gone, the force of that should have taken out all that glass with it, which means they should have been thrown through the back of the helicopter and then the rear rotor.
There was no rear rotor on it. That was the utter impossibility.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, so you don't have a rear rotor. How is it stabilized? There's a reason Hueys have two sets of rotors, front and back. Sorry.
Look, this still made more sense than Mighty Man with the ugly dog and the villain with the baby fetish. So.
Oh, so you watched it last week?
Well, no, that was the week before.
Yeah,
that was the week before, and then last week was a Plastic Man.
Right. That's right.
But yeah, no, I was here for Mighty Man with his questionable ethnicity and the ugly dog and the baby fetish. I was
right.
Here
I mean that's like.
Hey, but no real babies were harmed in the making of that cartoon.
Dog's head. The whole pier is about to get destroyed. How ugly is this dog, and what does this dog's face actually do to the environment around him?
Well, I mean, you can answer that question. I found some of my old high school annuals, and I can show you some of my school pictures. Same thing.
Are you related to that dog?
Apparently.
Do you believe him?
But it was a phase. You grew out of it, though.
Somewhat doubtful.
But this is the weird thing. If I could find it real quick here. One of the things that I found interesting here was if you paid attention to the credits, some of the design was actually done by Jack Kirby.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me go back. Let me go back and hopefully I could find it real quick.
Yeah, I saw Steve Gerber, but I didn't see Jack Kirby.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it back up here because there's the directors.
Rudy Lariva and John Kimball.
See, story direction. There's Steve Gerber for story editor, so he edited the story direction, and everything. See, voices. Okay, those are the voices.
I've never heard of Sonny Belinda.
There it is.
Character design, Jack Kirby. Yeah.
Kirby. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That would explain why the car was so reminiscent of the Shield flying car, except in a Rolls Royce type body.
And while in one of the scenes where they were in space, the Mayan spaceship looked like the Fantastic Car.
Right.
Oh, from Fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thought of that.
No, I was like, that was kind of like one of the things that's like, you know what? It's like when you have people who are really well known in the comic book sphere working on stories and the designs and stuff, it makes for good cartoon watching, but some of the stuff is just so fantastical that it's just like, this is just so unbelievable.
And he probably just did the design sheets for the characters. He's got the credit for it, but I don't think he did actual production work.
No. He just did design.
On this, other than the fact that he designed the characters for them.
He just did design, just like Alex Toff did a lot of the designs for Hanna-Barbera for like the Super Friends and the Fantastic Four and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I bet you Kirby just sat down for a weekend and knocked out like 30 of these shows, character designs.
Right. Yeah, probably like 3 days he did all that, because it makes me think about Dundar the Barbarian.
Yeah, he's probably sitting there with 11 by 17 Bristol working it out.
Yeah, working out front, back, side, certain key expressions, stuff like that.
Yeah,
because what the urban myth is, he came up with the Black Panther and all of the Inhumans in a weekend. So,
Okay.
I wouldn't put it past them because technically, if you believe the myths, Galactus is technically supposed to be a new god.
Oh, okay.
If you follow DC's new gods, he was one of the prototype characters that was supposed to be in the new gods.
I love me some Medusa.
Of the Inhumans.
Of the Inhumans. I love me some Medusa. Her and Black Bolt were my favorite. They were my favorite couple, and they were like my favorite heroes. I love the fact that, you know, Black Bolt's voice was so intense that he couldn't speak lest he destroy the world.
Well,
I still think about the two instances of where Black Bolt, well, actually the one major one where actually Black Bolt actually spoke.
Usually,
and he spoke in such a way that it was meant to save the world, or at least to save the planet.
I think it's every 50 or so issues he whispers something, and then, you know.
No. I thought about literally spoke like in like a yell, but like I said, he was like yelling for someone. He actually did it in I want to say it was in Earth X that he did it. He did it in such a way where it's like it was enough to keep the Hulk from rampaging in on him, but at the same time Hulk was like, oh, so that was your death screen. I thought it's like your death screen is nothing, blah 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 blah, this that and the other, and blah 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 blah. It's like it's supposed to destroy me, you didn't do nothing. It's like, and he was like, whispered, I wasn't really screaming,
trying to kill you.
No, I wasn't trying to kill you. I yelled out for a name. I yelled out a name, and that name was Galactus, who that time was Franklin Richards. So Franklin Richards comes out of nowhere and saves the day.
See, now I always felt bad for the Black Bolt character because he's one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. If you can go by everything. But over the last few decades, he's become kind of like the Spectre in DC. He's just used to get his ass kicked to give the villain of the month street cred. Like
so I haven't read
that's because people don't know how to write them.
Yeah,
well, I
haven't read a lot of Inhumans since Kirby quit doing them. I didn't read them as often after Kirby wasn't doing them anymore.
I read a lot of them.
Was it Infinity? I think that was the name of the crossover where that was when they were having the big push to get rid of mutants and make everything Inhumans. Black Bolt,
the Terragon gas situation.
Yeah, Black Bolt's voice could not stop Thanos, and not Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet or the Cosmic Cube, just regular Thanos. I'm like, man,
no.
I had the issues of Silver Surfer where he just whispered "stop" and cracked the moon in half. What
I was about to say.
So yeah, he's just become that guy that they pull out to give the villain of the month street cred, and I just like, no.
That's because writers don't go back and do their homework.
So he's Hobo Joe now.
No, man.
No, he's not
Hobo Joe is a god among men. Don't say that.
He's not Hobo Joe. He's just he's kind of like what I consider, they make him more like the fallen royal leader of a race. That's what they pretty much make. That's like he still has his super strength, and he still has his fighting ability and everything, but the whole thing about the reason why he can't talk is just like, we can't have that. It's like, yes, you can. It's like, there was a reason why there was. Yeah. He had to literally almost talk via telepathy. There's a reason why there's a device on his head.
His tuning fork.
Well, everybody called it a tuning fork, but it was kind of like his way to tap into the dark side of the moon where he gets most of his power from. Right. That's the only reason why it hurt him when you squeezed that stupid tuning fork, because like he's been like ciphering power for so long. It's like, until they removed it. They literally kind of removed it.
My second favorite character was the dog.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. I mean, I wanted my own lockjaw. I wanted a lockjaw because it's like I could go anywhere, and if anybody got in my face, puppy, boom. Yeah, you want to say that to my dog? Oh, I thought,
Mm.
hello, are you pooping yourself? Bye.
I just like the whole story about how Lockjaw and Ben Grimm became the best of friends.
Hmm. There was also that I think it was a Fantastic Four book where the Impossible Man and Lockjaw went on an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the most comedic things ever, but it worked. It worked.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the thing about it is like everybody thinks Lockjaw is a dumb dog. It's like no,
Mm-mm.
Lockjaw is a genius. It's genius level.
Hmm.
Oh,
It's just that people want to treat him like he's like somebody's pet, and that's one of the reasons why him and Ben Grimm gets along so well, because Lockjaw was in pain, and he went to Medusa. Medusa thought it was something else and really didn't pay attention. Went to Black Bolt, same thing. Went through all the Inhumans and everything, and he went to Earth and tried to get some of the people on Earth to try to help him. And then he eventually got to Ben Grimm. Ben was like, wait, something's wrong. This, that, and the other, and he figured out what was wrong and removed what was bothering him. And
Hmm.
from that point forward, they became like this.
Hmm.
Lockjaw became almost like, if anything happens to you, just yell out for me. They're dead.
Hmm.
I wish this was easier to get hold of. This is
Oh, the see, that's what I miss about, you have Batman. No, put it back up. Put it back up. You people have like Batman days and Superman days. This is one of the few Wonder Woman Day books that have ever came out in
Hmm.
recent years.
I
We
like
don't
this
have Wonder Woman
story.
Day as often anymore, and I keep blaming DC for that. Stop with the bull. We know that Batman is your cash cow. Go ahead and have your Batman Day. I know people still love Superman. People want their Wonder Woman days to be consistent. Don't have it one
Hmm.
year and then skip, or next 5 or 6 years, you know, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's Wonder Woman Day. Celebrate Wonder Woman Day just like you celebrate Batman days, just like you celebrate Superman
Hmm.
Day.
I
Yep.
was thinking it's like it's Diana as a child,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and it's family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dealing with, a situation. She kind of runs away. She meets somebody who doesn't want her to let other people know that she's met them. It's kind of mysterious. The book cuts off before you get into who that girl is. But it's the only one I have of that, and I've thought about, it's supposed to be a graphic novel. I should probably go get the graphic novel.
Right. That one, and it was like 4 books that came out that day. I think I got all 4 of them.
I
And
only got
that was one of the more nicer ones too, because of the simple fact that it was easy to read. It was something that you could sit down with any type of child and read it together. It was
which
just very well done.
I just wish I it's like you probably can't find those anymore, so I'm not going to review it because that's a book that you would really have to know your comic book shop
Right.
owner
Yeah, to
in
see
order
if they
to
have
try
Wonder
and
Woman in
see
the
if
book.
they
But
had any of those. And I don't want to introduce a book that can't be easily found. I don't want to introduce a book that people, it's like it's not something they can go on Amazon or find on Kindle or go to a local comic book store
that's what
where
I'm thinking
even if
now
they
here.
don't have it in stock, they can pull it up and say, "Hey, I can order this for you," which is what, I usually do with James. If I'm looking for something, I'll say, "Hey, James, blah blah blah," and he'll go, "I don't think I have that in stock," but he'll, get on his computer, do 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 do. Oh, you know what? I can order that for you,
Hmm.
you know. And so I want to make sure that if I review something, it's something that people can get, as opposed to, you gotta fight to find it. I don't, because it's like a lot of parents aren't going to want to spend, they might watch us talk about it on the show. A kid might see that and go and then want the book, and then parent can't find it. So it's like, yeah, I
Oh, stop your belly aching. And this is why I'm
Ooh.
going to say stop it.
Okay,
What do
so
we see
the
here?
okay, that's good. Okay, then I can, you know what? This will be good.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's Diana as a child. It's during her princess days with the Amazon. I think that would be good. What do you think?
Yes.
I think that's a good. It's a good thing here because you could do it as a Kindle. You could do it as
You
a
could,
paperback,
Mm.
and
and
that
it's on
would be.
sale. And it's on sale.
I was just. It's like, okay, you know what? I can order that when we get off.
And
We
there's
get off
other
the show.
and there's other parts to it, like this one here.
Yes, Diana and Nubia, princesses of the Amazon. I think this would be fun, especially, you know me, I want to find books that little girls especially are going to read and be okay with, you know, and say, "Oh, this is something towards me." And little black girls can look at this and go, "Okay," you
Well,
know.
that's the only thing. That's another thing because there's another book that I own and have read. Since you're going to bring that up here, and they did a sequel to it too,
Okay.
and I haven't read that one. I haven't
Okay.
read the sequel, but I do own this one here, and it's weird. Okay, there it is. It's like Nubia, the real one. That's the one that I actually own. I could pull that off my shelf right now.
Okay.
That's one that, if you don't mind the fact that the story kind of makes it dated,
I like I said,
and
I would
they try to be overly socially relevant, that it takes away from the story of the fact that she never would have that she is a Amazon princess and was de-aged because she
okay.
ends up meeting Diana, and Diana is like 21, 22, and she's just turning 16.
No,
Mm.
I like this better because we're the kid, if I remember correctly, I'm thinking about, say, the 9 to 14-year-old girls, which is around the age of Diana
Mhm.
and this book. So it's like, okay, that's perfect for them.
and
That's
and
perfect for them.
and
And
that's the sequel, by the way. But
Mm.
okay.
this is about like a 16, 17-year-old Nubia.
And I'm
Mm.
going a little younger.
Okay.
I'm going a little younger with this, though. I think some older girls. It's a good, wholesome book. It's inspiring. I think girls could read that. I'm going to order the Diana Nubia one, the first one you
Mhm.
showed me. I'm going to order that, and I should
Mhm.
have it by Friday of next week, which would give me just enough time to sit down, read it, and write out my review. And I got to remind DC Chen, because is that going to be just me and you for this? Which
No, it's
means,
all of us. It's all of us.
is Clyde coming? I know. I know.
Again, I don't know, but from my understanding,
I know we're
the
being
role of Clyde
moderated.
is being the role of Clyde being held by Kelly this year. She's going to
Yeah,
be moderating,
she's moderating us, but it's
right?
like,
So
how many
Clyde
of us?
moderated us last year,
Yeah,
even though he was still a part. He was
he
still a
was
part of the
also
group.
doing the review, so she's
Mhm.
moderating us. So it's like, well, how much time do we have, and how many of us are doing actual reviews? Is it just
Mhm.
me and you? Is it? Are
I thought
you
it was going to be all three of us because the show is all three of us here.
okay? So yeah,
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
gonna
know that.
order.
Okay.
It's gonna
I
be
was like,
Sunday.
what, you saying that you're not a part of comic book spectrum? It
Well,
is
no,
a
I
comic book
haven't.
spectrum slot here, and that was the topic that she picked for us, was
Oh,
Yes.
all
finding.
I knew is I was doing the B list boosters again. She didn't tell me I was doing this one. Okay.
Oh, maybe
Hey,
she doesn't
it's
realize that
fine
you're
either way.
part of it. But yeah,
Well, I mean, she's
Joe picked the Sunday date for
okay.
us.
That's
So
fine.
it's Sunday at 1.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because
You know.
I'm doing the B list panel Sunday also, so it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, because
I
I've got
just
to get up. That's the first of the month. So that means I've got to get up as early as possible, go to Aldi, get my shopping done, get my food, get back here, get everything, get it, have them sorted and put away, and then out of my way so I can do the show, or you hear Charles and John discussing what goes where.
Mm-mm.
But
Well, I'll have to find a book now.
would you like?
Uh,
Oh, hey, sweetie. We have to arrange for me to do art. For me to sit down with her for art.
He wanted to come in here and tell you happy birthday. So.
Oh, well then she gotta come in.
No, she's gone. No, she's
like nope.
She's gone now.
Because like too late.
I'm not trying to be evil here, but tomorrow the girls are going to a Valentine's Day party for their homeschool group, and they've been making sweet potato cookies the whole time we've been on here, and I've been smelling them.
You hungry?
And they're done.
You're ready to eat.
I have 48 pounds to gain, so.
So you're going to regain the 48 pounds that you lost when you was all by yourself.
Yes, I'm fixing to go get all of them in my belly. So.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna order the Diana and Nubia, and so that's gonna be my read. Or would you like to do the Diana, Princess of the Amazons, or Diana Nubia yourself?
No, I already picked my book. I'm doing the Spider-Man.
No, Cliff.
Oh no, I'll find something.
Okay, well then I will order Diana and Nubia. And
if nothing else, I'll do My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Oh, that's a good one too.
See, and I'm not
the beginnings of Twilight Sparkle saga when she finally finds out what she really is.
I'm not a brony, so
we watched the cartoon, and we've got most of the trade paperbacks, and it's really good. I'm
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm Hellsing unabridged.
No, I tell you, if we have to talk like My Little Pony type stuff, I know what type that Elaine is. The writer and creator of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic also did DC Hero Girls, the second incarnation of it.
Ah, okay.
That's Elaine.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. That's Elaine. Elaine would be like I can't even think of her name now. The same person that did Foster's Home for Imaginary.
Oh, I love that series, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah,
John and I used to watch that all the time.
Craig McCracken created the series, but the person who wrote the most episodes did Friendship is Magic and the second incarnation of DC Hero Girls. In that second incarnation, Elaine would probably end up being either more like Supergirl, and when she in her more docile side, she is more like
When am
Bumblebee.
I ever docile?
You're not. It's like each one of the superhero girls in I can't. Why is the name escaping me?
I'm just.
Are you talking about the ones on Netflix for a little while?
No. This was on Cartoon Network.
Friends was a Cartoon Network show.
Same with the second incarnation of the DC superhero girls. It was also on Cartoon Network. I just can't think of the name. It was the same person who created My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I can't think of her name.
Isn't it?
Lauren. Lauren. What is her last name?
I don't know because I don't know who that writer was.
I hate going to Google. I hate going to Google because of stupid stuff, because it makes me seem like I'm stupid.
It's almost 10 o'clock, and all I've eaten today is rum raisin ice cream.
Okay, 48 pounds of sweet potato cookies.
Joe, it's like 9:45.
I was just waiting for you guys to do your sign-offs. I'm up here. Let me do my research. I can do my research while you guys are signing out here.
How do I make this where it's me?
You go to the symbol where you just see yourself over your picture, and you go there.
Hold on. Solo layout. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. You know, we appreciate you. Whether you're here live with us or if you come and catch us at a later date, it doesn't matter. We just appreciate, you know, that you guys take the time to come here and just accept the insanity. Anyway, I'm Elaine Haygood, writer of The Enslaved and the upcoming And the Coming of Nighttime Book 1. And next year it'll be Book 2. And if you come to C2E2, Joe and I will be at booth 829.
That's
Um,
correct.
come, I got stuff to buy. I got posters. I'll have comic books. I'll have the novel. I have stickers. I have stuff. And you know, if you're really good and in your pose, I might even give you candy. Anyway, Elaine Haygood at I'm sorry, I almost gave you the wrong thing. Come see us at lenscaponline.com. Go down to where it says contact us. Leave me a note. Say, hey, girl, or come to my YouTube page, Elaine Haygood, and check out the videos. Leave a note. I respond. I do. I get it and I respond. Y'all take care. I need to go eat something other than an entire pint of rum raisin ice cream because, I'm old. I turned 65 this year. So, shut up. Bye.
And it's Lauren Faust.
Yes, Lauren Faust. All right. Thank you for joining us. I hope we entertained you. If we didn't, you need better taste. I'm gonna go eat some sweet potato cookies. Happy birthday, Miss Elaine. Happy Valentine's Day to all you folks out there. If you don't have someone to love yourself. Just don't tell me about it. Thank you. Come again.
All right. And tonight's episode is always brought to you by Plasma Fire Graphics. If you need a artist who could do you the best looking covers ever, and that is an award-winning artist for a lot of Pope Factory Award winning covers, hit up Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics. If you don't believe me, believe in this video.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Seen those covers? You've seen why he wins awards, so why not hit up Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics where he could do your cover to your novel, your graphic novel, your comic book, whatever. Just hit him up at plasmafiregraphics.com or his Facebook group for Plasma Fire Graphics. As far as I'm concerned, you're going to have me for Valentine's Day. So that means that there will be a Saturday show here. I will be here at 9 p.m. Central. What we're going to talk about, who knows? It's going to be for the love of comics anyway. So until then, live life, grow, and be well. And unlike our founder, Brian K. Morris, I don't care if you wash your hands, but never, and I do mean never, apologize for being awesome. I'll catch you here next week for another episode of Comic Book Spectrum. Have a good evening and see you later.